Settle in, mystery fans. It's time for Below Grade Level. I have a query for you. Do you know who did it?
Hello and welcome to Below Grade Level, the show where we take the books we read as kids and read them as adults and ruin them. I'm one of your hosts, Jonathan Eaton, and with me as always is Bekah Eaton.
Hello.
And Chris Zaleski.
Greetings.
Guys, we are about to finish reading Nancy Drew and the Crooked Banister, and as is tradition and has been foretold, who will come and help us finish this book? None other than returning champion John Walker. Welcome, John.
Guys, I can't believe that we've made it this far. We've done it. We've made it this far in Nancy Drew's The Crooked Banister, or is it The Mystery of the Crooked Banister? What's it called?
I think it's just called The Crooked Banister.
Oh, The Crooked Banister.
Everything
I can't believe it.
With her is a mystery, though.
I can't believe we're here.
Me either.
Nancy Drew v. Crooked Banister, Dawn of Justice.
No, obviously this has been, it's always fun to get brought in. I think this might be the most vintage book you've brought me in for, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
What led the choice to choose a Nancy Drew or an ND, as those of us who work in the children's library department? I don't know what the right way to say that is. That always sounds wrong to say.
It does.
But I was a page shelving books in the children's library department.
You
at the
said that
Hoover
earlier.
Public
I didn't
Library.
know there was a position called page.
Wait, is that true?
Which is a hilarious name.
Oh my god, I just got it.
Well, no, I don't think. I don't think that's why they call it that. But we'd have to find out why. But the librarians are the ones who sit at the desk, and the pages are the ones who push the carts around, reshelving books.
Oh,
and
I didn't know
They're
that.
doing the turning.
Yes.
Shit.
Yes. So I got to touch every book that children touched.
That also sounds bad.
How many sick days did you get?
I mean, I have a very robust, I want to say disposition. Constitution is the word that I was looking for, though. But I have a robust disposition, too.
What led us to doing Nancy Drew, it's just been kind of on the docket for a while. I have been wanting to do, something, like you said, more vintage. So, I've been wanting to do a Nancy Drew for a long time. I've been wanting to do a Hardy Boys for a long time, and I know that they cross over and that there's Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys. I've got some links. And then the other thing that I have been wanting to do for a long time we haven't done yet was Choose Your Own Adventure. Like a vintage, like an 80s Choose Your Own Adventure.
Classic.
So we wanted to do something, we wanted to step back and do something a bit older, and it really was an experiment because we had... None of us have ever read Nancy Drew before, so we had no idea if it was going to be enjoyable in the slightest bit. There was a danger of this not going well. And I'm happy to say it has gone well from the fucking beginning, because on the first page of this book, Nancy Drew was like, Daddy, do you have a mystery for me to solve? It has been exactly what I wanted it to be the whole fucking time, and it's great.
That's great. That's great.
It wasn't what I expected. I was expecting a children's book.
Yeah.
Or really written for an elementary school audience versus I guess this is probably written for middle school, even though she's 18.
I was just to say, I bet these are children's books, and we just got dumber and dumber and dumber.
But also, she does age up. So, this is one of the ones where she's 18 that came out in the 70s, I think I remember correctly.
Yes,
whereas, it started, in the 30s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 1930 is when Nancy Drew started.
What did children do for fun during the Great Depression? Solve mysteries.
Yeah.
With their father.
With their father. Their lawyer father. And everyone's hot.
Yeah.
So this one, you say, does not feel particularly modern to 1971, even though it would be hard for any of you to guess what that would be like, I suppose. Yeah. But 1971 is a long time ago, but you were saying movies, that it still feels kind of antiquated. No, I just think that's interesting because this is one of the books that was written after they started updating the books to be a little more modern. Mm-hmm. Meaning this book didn't, I don't think, go through a process of being updated, whereas in the 50s, they did go in and update all the books from the 30s and 40s.
Oh, they've done that also with Sweet Valley High and shit. They have that. That is a thing, John, that will happen to these children's books, because I only knew that because when we were finding Sweet Valley High books to read, there would be people saying, which ones are you reading? Are you reading the original ones from the 80s or like the reprints from the 90s? Because they changed...
I don't think I realized that.
They changed a lot of they changed the language, so there were some...
They added a super before anyone mentioned Nintendo.
They, like some stuff, and I don't have any specific examples, but I think there were some outdated things of just like terminology and like things that didn't go over that well in the like 15 years. But the thing that was most interesting that they had changed in Sweet Valley High books was the fashion. So like they literally went in and updated.
Did we talk about this on the podcast?
We did. Forever ago. Like fucking at this point probably 3 years ago.
Okay.
They would change what Jessica and Elizabeth were wearing. Because whatever they were wearing in the book was like
cool anymore.
Not cool at all anymore and super outdated for the 90s. Mm-hmm. So they would like update that kind of shit and then reprint them with like new covers. Mm-hmm. And it's the exact same book, just with like Jonathan.
Now they have side ponytails.
Updated references, yeah.
Wait, this is a podcast? I thought we just hung out in a very weird way.
We do.
A very structured way.
We record it and then we also release it online for strangers to listen to.
So how much do you know about the authorship of these books, outside of Carolyn Keene being the name?
We did look it up when we first started reading this one, and it was apparently it was always a pseudonym, and it was a father and daughter that wrote them, and then they hired other people later on.
Yeah, but the reason I wanted to get into that is because it was the daughter, Edward Stratemeyer was the originator of it, but his daughter took it over, Harriet Stratemeyer Adams. I just thought this was kind of interesting that when they were updating it in the 50s to like take out antiquated references to like you were saying like fashion or cars, different things like that to make it more modern. Mm-hmm. They also wanted to take out all the racial slurs. Oh. But Harriet Stratemeyer Adams didn't think that was necessary.
Oh no, Harriet!
I just thought that was a great little bit of information there. But I think they ended up doing that anyway. So somewhere in the 50s,
Christ,
I'm glad she was overruled.
They updated all the books up to about 57, and then after that, for the longest time, they were like all written by Harriet Stratemeyer Adams, like. From the outline to the book to the editing, whereas before that, yes, it was like a team of ghostwriters.
Yeah.
That not to be confused with Ghost Rider, the comic book character, Bekah. I know that's the first thing you thought of. Was that flaming skull?
Wasn't there a TV show called Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
In the 90s. Show. That's what I thought.
Ghost Writer.
There's Ghost Rider.
Oh, I thought you said Ghost Writer.
He's saying Ghost Rider.
Oh, okay.
I was making a bit of play on words with Ghost Rider, which sounds a lot like Ghost Rider, you see. But the other thing I thought was interesting was the name of this group that wrote and created these books, including the
was it the Drew Crew?
The Hardy Boys. It should have been the Hardy Boys books, which Franklin W. Dixon was also a fake name that never existed.
Is that who wrote the Hardy Boys books?
Yes.
Okay.
But the name of the group, I just like this because this sounds like I don't know, like
syndicate.
A crime family. The Stratemeyer Syndicate is the name of the group.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that.
Stratemeyer Syndicate?
Yeah.
The Stratemeyer Syndicate are the people behind these books and various other series that you may have heard of. But these are the two most famous ones for sure.
They're like, we solve crimes, then we start.
They're writing these books in a smoky basement.
Yes, they were.
Jonathan, the other thing you've written comics. You should know what syndication is.
When they originally pitched the series, the name of the character was Stella Strong, and then they were, but at the time they were like, but we may call her Diana Drew or Diana Dare or Nan Nelson or Nan Drew or Helen Hale. And then the editors
Helen Hale is the only good one.
Yeah,
Helen Hale's good.
Nelson, an option.
Nan Nelson.
I
really were going hard on alliteration.
This is my kooky Aunt Nan Nelson. Hi, nice to meet you. I just came back from a Poison concert.
So somehow they got Nan Drew out of that, and then they lengthened Nan to Nancy. So it's just like
Nan
it could have
just
easily
sounds like Andrew.
Yeah, Nancy Drew is way better.
Yeah. No, Nan Drew just doesn't like. None of those are quite. I agree. Helen Hale's not bad, but it doesn't sound like this character.
Yeah.
Helen Hale sounds like a woman though, like a woman.
Yeah.
Helen Hale and Stella Strong.
Yeah.
Sound like
they still a girl, not yet a woman.
Not a woman.
But they sound like pulp adventurers almost, not like this, where it's like the mystery solving.
Who doesn't love alliteration?
Yeah. Well, apparently Grosset and Dunlap, Dunlop. No, Dunlap. I had it right the first time. They were the publishers that liked...
Grosset.
They were the henchmen for the what was it, the Stratemeyer Syndicate? You don't want us to send Grosset and Dunlap after you.
Yeah.
Grosset, you hear about that? Yeah, Dunlap. We got some mystery to solve. Bekah, would you like to catch us up on what happened last time?
I'd love to. So the last time we start off with them getting the trapdoor open, they can hear Bess and Dave yelling in there. Oh wait, no, wrong door. They're already in the trapdoor basement area. They get the other door that's in the basement open.
Yes,
and Bess and Dave are in there.
Yeah.
And they find a stairway that goes up into a turret that has unbreakable windows. I don't know why they know that unless they tried to break them.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Which they didn't need to go out the windows. I think they just get back into the house. Did they find the Newell last time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They're obsessing over the Newell. Nancy keeps talking about it. She takes it with her. They get back to the hotel, and there's an envelope from Arizona from Clyde Mead. Because Bess had given him money. They find out that she had given him money for the children. And the letter is supposedly from a Native American child that her money has helped, 12 hours earlier.
Yeah, I should say, John, you had mentioned them, taking slurs out. There haven't been any slurs in this book, but there have been just, callous, of the time references. They just keep calling them Indians and Indian children.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like it hasn't been updated since 1971. So.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
A lot has changed.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I don't know if you need to edit this out, but our own president still calls them Indians.
Well, if that wasn't true. But since it's true, then the boys leave. Nancy is obsessed with finding out if the banister was sawed off before the staircase was built into the wall or afterwards. So they take it to, I think, just a random carpenter who says...
It's crazy.
I don't even remember what his first... Oh, no, I wrote it down. He thinks that it was sawed off after.
Yeah.
But
he can tell.
She wants a second opinion. So I think this guy tips them off to the guy that installed the staircase in the first place.
Yes.
So they go to get their second opinion. Nancy thinks the stairwell is new to the house being built. The other carpenter is named Hugo Custer, and he has pictures of when the staircase was installed, which doesn't match. It looks normal then. So it's proof of a new wall being built that cuts off the staircase.
Yes.
And he gives them a bunch of extra pictures that he happens to have on hand.
They have a timeline.
They
they're
talked to him for a long time.
We know when you built the staircase, and so now we know that this wall was built in the past 5 years, or some bullshit. I can't remember.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be 30 years ago, but it was
No.
5 fucking years ago.
Yeah, it was really recently.
Whatever. They go to see Mrs. Carrier, and she tells them that Clyde Mead showed up and that she gave him money for the kids also.
Sucker.
Oh, Jesus. I just talked about all of this, and I'm already exhausted by reading it again. Thomas and Mr. and Mrs. Jacques show up. The Jacques had been swindled by Raleigh with a country club membership. And I don't remember if they know or if Thomas knows, but we learned that Raleigh is out on a boat in Miami right now. They call Mr. Drew, and he decides to come up and join the shenanigans again. Mm-hmm. They get another letter to the hotel, an anonymous message that's typed, and it says, "Hunt for the skeleton's bracelet." Jonathan, we knocked out one of your predictions.
Yes, that's fine.
But you have 2 predictions, that Raleigh is dead in the wall or he's dead and Thomas is faking being Raleigh. I guess that's combined.
It's my main prediction.
Yeah, Raleigh is dead in the wall. Thomas is pretending to be both Thomas and Raleigh.
Yes.
Raleigh's just an innocent guy that wants to build robots. It's really the other one.
Yeah,
Thomas
is
the other two.
He's smirching his name.
I always wanted to swindle.
Yeah.
Here's my chance.
Mr. Drew says anonymous notes are the work of cowards. They all go back
Not
to
wrong.
the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bridge is back up at the house. They don't know who's taking the bridge down and putting it back up.
Yeah.
There's a guard there who leaves immediately. I don't know what the fuck the point of that was.
I don't know if he's important, but
Since you guys are here, I could go, right?
Yeah.
I'm not
you're
important, so I'll just
I've
go.
been wanting to drink all day.
You promise you're not going to steal, right? You have to tell me if you're going to steal. I don't know how far into stuff about bookshelves I even made this prediction, so
Yes.
I don't know if it's legit, but my prediction was something about the skeleton bracelet being, like, I think it was that I thought it was going to be the name of a book.
Yeah, you
That
were
was-
very, very close.
I thought it was, like, the name of a book.
Yeah.
Would
But
have been
they-
better.
It
They
would have been
do
better.
find something on the bookcase. There's a lever in there, and it like moves the bookcase a bit and reveals a bunch of portraits that were like defaced with their faces blacked out. Mrs. Carrier is super pissed, and she said that Raleigh hated these relatives. And
I remember it taking them a long time to calm her down.
yeah,
Like she was really, really
she was
mad.
very angry.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I wrote that as like a little note aside because I was like, oh my god, she's pissed.
Yeah. So mad.
But like those portraits are hidden. I
And
don't-
also, yeah, they're on the
Like,
back of a
defaced and
revolving
hidden?
bookcase.
yeah. So the bookcase starts moving again. Nancy gets kind of stuck in it, but then they get her out. Mrs. Carrier touches.
intense.
Huh?
It was intense.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was intense. Mrs. Carrier touches the paint that's like defacing the pictures, and it burns her, like it hurts or something.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Well,
Poison paint.
okay.
Acid paint.
Bekah will give you a few minutes to not talk.
Thank you.
Jesus. She just had to sum up the entire book for John. And I feel like you used up all of your energy. Like, if this is Stardew, you need to eat a
three
cave
quarters
cheese right
and then
now.
another quarter.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Said if this is Stardew, you would need to eat a cave cheese right now.
I thought I heard you say cheese.
Yeah, cheese. That is so specific to our household, you guys. That's a very, very inside baseball joke for
When
us.
you run out of energy, you need cave cheese.
We both, in our separate individual Stardew games, we make a lot of cheese,
No one cares.
but I have to explain it.
I
I
care.
care.
They both care. Both of them care. We make a lot of cheese that we specifically keep to use when we go mining because the cheese replenishes a lot of health and energy, and we
Do
call
you
it our
cut
cave.
it?
No, Chris. No, that'd be dangerous in the mines with all that methane. Already? Okay, let's find out what happens
Let's dive in.
at the end of this book. Chapter XV. Haha, 15. Got there.
It has begun.
Chapter 15, Nancy's Stratagem. Also, John, we didn't really like write down any of the specific voices that we're doing, but you'll kind of like, it's basically
It's mainly all transatlantic.
it's mainly all
accent.
transatlantic with
Because
like
of
little
the, like,
flavors.
like we were saying, and it'll make more sense when you see it
Yeah.
of how antiquated it feels. Just the way they talk doesn't. I don't think people in the 70s talked like this.
No, they're always like Nancy queried.
Yeah,
like no
yeah.
one said that in 1971. Okay. At Mrs. Carrier's outcry, Mr. Drew's face took on a look of alarm. Nancy, he said, do you have your magnifying glass with you? Yes, I do, Daddy, she replied, and went for her handbag.
Dumb question.
Oh, you mean this magnifying glass-shaped handbag I have?
This thing pertaining to what I've wrapped my entire identity around?
How the fuck do you think I solve mysteries, Daddy? Mr. Drew examined the paint which Mrs. Carrier had been scraping with her fingernails. I need a knife, he said, and Nancy hurried to the kitchen to get one. I'm surprised she didn't have one in her handbag.
A little pen knife.
Yeah, right?
Also, that robot's in there.
Right? God.
He's probably back in the closet.
He's
but he
gonna
got out
choke you
before.
again.
Yeah.
Her father chipped off more paint, then exclaimed, the face on this portrait is covered with steel nails that are holding down $1,000 bill. What the fuck?
Wait, what?
I'm sorry, what?
Steel
The face
nails.
on this portrait is covered with steel nails that are holding down a $1,000 bill, which had been painted over with paint? Oh, so did she hurt herself on a nail?
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
How tiny of a nail that she doesn't see it's a fucking nail?
I don't know.
I don't even know what to write down.
Don't write anything down yet. Just give it time.
Why write anything down? It's the last episode.
Also-
I know, I
also-
don't know. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I do that.
I
I
keep-
can't not do
I
it.
keep forgetting you take notes during our last episode.
Sometimes there's information that you need.
That's true. I do little synopses. Suddenly, Mrs. Carrier said, "I believe they're more than plain steel nails. See how my hand is swelling?" The others looked at her in alarm. Bess cried out, I'll bet there's poison on them." "I believe you're right." Oh, wait. "I believe you're right," said Mr. Drew. "I think I'd better take Mrs. Carrier to a doctor at once."
Did you say $1,000 bill?
Yes, I sure did. I sure did say $1,000 bill. Haven't you seen one?
No?
"The hospital is closer," the woman said. She was beginning to scratch herself with her uninjured hand. "I itch all over," she complained. Mr. Drew said that either the paint was poisonous or the steel nails fastened to the portrait had been brushed with poison. "Either the paint is poisonous or the steel nails fastened to the portrait that have been brushed with poison. Come, we'll leave right now," he told Mrs. Carrier. "You girls be very careful while I'm gone. I'll return as soon as I can. I'm just going to leave my child and her child friends in this strange house with poison nails." As Nancy took a sixth portrait from the wall, Bess said worriedly, "Nancy, don't you dare touch that." The young detective smiled. "Bess, you idiot." "I'm certainly not going to touch it with my bare hands," she said, "but I think these scrapings of paint and these steel nails should be analyzed by a chemist."
I think
Next montage.
steel nails is going to drive me crazy for the rest of my life.
Why?
Because it's really redundant. How is it sharp? How do they not see its nails? Is it like tiny little nails poking out from the other
from the back?
side,
That's
so
what I
the
think.
part's going through?
I think
but
so.
also they're like microscopic, so you don't see them.
I don't know. And
Aren't nails steel? Aren't nails already made of steel?
I assume so.
Okay. I'm furious.
You're querying too much.
George said she was not afraid to work with Nancy. She procured another knife from the kitchen
George wouldn't be.
and also 2 paper bags. Bess sheepishly followed and returned with a knife and a bag. The girls worked for a long time in silence. Each one was careful not to let the paint touch her skin.
Bess is holding that knife like this,
Aw, Bess.
shaking uncontrollably.
The shavings were dropped into the bags. Finally, George spoke up. "How are we going to remove the nails without touching them? I saw a tool drawer in the kitchen," Nancy said. "Maybe I can find a pair of pliers." She soon returned with the tool. One by one, Nancy pulled the nails from the picture on which Mrs. Carrier had been working. Most of the black paint had been scraped from the portrait, and the girls could distinguish the face beneath. "Ugh!" Bess exclaimed. "Mrs. Carrier thought all the Bannisters were handsome. I guess she forgot this one." Damn, Bess.
Gruesome Bannister.
Also, wouldn't a bunch of nails in
In
a
his
picture
face?
kind of ruin it?
Yeah.
Oops. George pointed out that the man had very fine features, but admitted he had a stern, cruel expression. Like, he's hot, but he's mean.
I was just gonna say that.
I can fix him.
Yeah. He's like a hot villain.
Yeah.
Bess commented, "I don't blame Raleigh Bannister for not liking him. He gives me the creeps." Nancy laughed. "Well, Bess, you won't have to worry about meeting him. I judge from the man's clothes that he lived a long time ago." "He makes me nervous," Bess insisted. She picked up the portrait and hung it face inward on the wall. Just then there was a loud, persistent rapping of the front door knocker. "I guess Daddy is back," Nancy remarked, and went into the hall. It occurred to her that this kind of summons did not seem like her father, but rather that of an impatient caller. "I'd better see first who's there before I let anyone in."
Where did the guard go?
He just fucked off to the woods, I guess.
Oh my god. Everyone's coming in and out of these woods.
What was it? Insistent rapper or persistent rapper?
I think it was persistent.
Persistent
No, I
rapping
heard
of an
insistent.
impatient caller.
He was persistent and impatient.
In my head, I just thought, excuse me, and I'm here to say...
Because he's a rapper.
Previously, she had noticed a peephole in the front door. A person inside the house could look out, but no one could peer in.
Is that new technology?
Oh my god,
in case you're an
guess.
idiot and you don't know what a peephole is.
Now I
She
have to
put
Google
one-
when peepholes were invented.
Oh my god.
She put one eye to the hole.
Yes, she did.
Which is a wonderful sentence. Standing outside was a huge man. His face was red.
They were
and he was
invented in the
pacing.
30s.
Oh, so they were new technology when these books were being written for the first time.
For the first time, not in 1971.
No, this one was written in 1971, so
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
there's no excuse. But I think
They
also
had
that might
40
be
years of
explaining it.
peepholes.
Yeah, but they...
That might be explaining it to children. You know, like you have to think
Oh.
someone's reading this.
Oh,
They
yeah.
might
Kids
wanna-
are short. They can't see out peepholes.
Yeah, they don't know about those peepholes. They're like, what's going on up there?
Like, what's
His
that
face
tiny piece of glass?
His face was red and he was pacing back and forth nervously. Not bothering to use the knocker, he banged hard on the door with his fists.
Pacing and banging.
Yeah. Red-faced, huge
Pace
man.
bang, pace bang. I don't think I should let him in, Nancy told herself, surmising that he could be unfriendly.
Good fucking guess, Nancy.
What a sleuth.
Perhaps the stranger had been watching the place. After he had seen Mr. Drew leave, the man might have concluded he could handle the three girls alone. There's no telling what he may be up to, Nancy thought. She decided to try strategy.
Oh.
Imitating the recorded voice which had greeted her and Mr. Drew on their first visit, she said loud and
Yes.
clear, Mr. Bannister is not at home. Come back some other time. A couple of seconds later, she repeated the message. I'm not doing it again.
I'll repeat it. I'll edit that in.
Once more,
no
she
problem.
looked through the peephole. The huge man at the door grew even redder in the face and waved his fist. Okay, he yelled, but I'll get him yet. Rolly Bannister can't swindle me and not pay for
Oh
it.
my god. How many people has he swindled?
So many. After delivering his threat, the man walked away. I'll come back later.
I'm still mad.
I'll get him. Yeah.
I do feel a bit peckish. I guess I'll go eat something.
It's like 5 o'clock.
Taking long steps, he strode across the bridge angrily and headed for a parked
Be like,
car.
also get a railing. This is dangerous.
There's no way this is up to code.
This is a crooked banister.
Which I would say if there was a banister on this walkway. Nancy smiled. Her ruse had worked. She returned to the other girls and told them what had happened. Bess said, I'm glad you didn't let him in. He sounds like trouble. He sure does, George agreed. I wonder who he is. Nancy shrugged. Apparently another one of Raleigh's victims. He was big enough and mad enough to give the swindler a good beating. The girls continued their
Maybe
work
you
of
should keep him
uncovering
on
the
your
portrait.
side.
Right? Yeah.
The girls continued their work of uncovering the portrait faces without their fingers touching the surface. Several pictures had $1,000 bills secreted under the paint.
Secreted or secreted?
Secret.
I think it would be
Secreted, but
secreted.
I do hate reading that word.
Secreted?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it
I-
does look like secreted.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's usually also like context clues. If it was ever secrete, you would know from the context.
Well, that's... Yeah, I feel dumb asking, but still.
No, I'm just saying like the difference of meaning there. I like that there is a word like secreted, but I agree we need a better word. I guess hid, but that doesn't quite fit.
That's not
you know what I
cool
mean?
enough
Like
sounding.
you need a fancier word
Yeah.
than hid. I can't see, said Bess. Why anyone would bother to hide money and then put poison on it. He wouldn't be able to use it. Nancy suggested that the bills could be washed. Bess and George commented that this was just one more idiosyncrasy of the man who had built the fantastic house.
Haven't you
Finally,
heard of money laundering?
Finally, the girls became weary of their task and gave up. They had collected sufficient samples for a chemical analysis. What were you going to say?
No, just like... I just like that they gave up.
Yeah, I know. I like that too. Finally, they got tired and they gave up.
Finally they got tired and
Also,
like, we don't have to keep doing this.
I don't know enough
The-
about Nancy
the
Drew.
end.
Does she have friends at the police department that are going to do the chemical analysis for her?
I don't know, she found 2 fucking carpenters in one day.
She is resourceful.
She's really resourceful.
The front door knocker sounded again, but less noisily. This time the caller was Mr. Drew. With him was Thomas Banister, who seemed very upset over what had taken place. "This is astounding," he remarked, after greeting the girls. "I can't imagine what ailed my brother. He's a sick man, no doubt about it." Nancy asked how Mrs. Carrier was Mrs. Drew. Oh, wait, hold on. I missed the period. that is an interesting
You said
question.
that so confidently, and then I was like, what?
I said it so
How
musically.
is she him?
How is she him?
How is she him?
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I
Yeah.
just want to know how it happened.
Yeah,
Explain.
exactly.
Nancy asked how Mrs. Carrier was. Period. Mr. Drew replied, "She'll be all right, but the doctor said that she had come to the hospital just in the nick of time." "How dreadful!" Bess exclaimed. Mr. Drew was told about the paint samples, not the plant samples, you fucking idiot. "Good," he said.
What are you,
"The
Jonathan?
doctor will want to have these scrapings analyzed. Why don't you girls bring them to him before lunch and see how Mrs. Carrier is feeling? And ask her how she's me."
How could she be me?
Nancy agreed and suggested that perhaps they should release the wedge from the bookcase and let it revolve into place. Her father nodded. "And we'll return the books to the shelves."
What?
While this was being done, Bess came across a volume entitled Poisonous Plants, Insects, and Snakes. She sat down and began to turn the pages. She hoped that one would be marked, giving a clue to the poison on the portraits. She looked carefully at each page. Finally, near the end of the book, she came across the drawing of a cobra. "Look, everybody," Bess called out. "Here's a snake exactly like the one in the wall hanging." The others hurried to her side and gazed at the deadly snake.
Cobra!
Here it states, she went on, that the venom of the cobra can kill a victim within an hour. Do you suppose the poison on the portraits is from a cobra? Let's look at that serpent picture in the hall, Nancy suggested. She and the others rushed from the living room and gazed up at the wall hanging, which hung directly above the end of the cut-off Crooked Banister. That's the name of the book. Had the searchers stumbled upon a clue?
And I visualize it much like the movie Clue,
Yes.
where everyone's running all at once.
Yes. Yeah. Chapter XVI 16. I get there eventually.
Good stalling.
Thank you. Thank you. Because if I didn't just say what I was reading, I would just go, chapter.
Zivvy.
You were
16.
the only one to have read the previous chapter number.
Do you think I remember that? Do you
You
think
fucking
6
idiot.
minutes
Do you
ago.
think that's still in here? This chapter is called Double Suspects.
Double suspects or devil suspects?
Double.
Double.
Two.
Okay.
Devil Suspects. What if this
I'm
book
getting
just
bad
took
at
a
hearing, I
straight
guess.
turn into like Satanism? Just the
I
occult.
want to amend my prediction.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to like tag on to whoever said Thomas was impersonating Raleigh.
That's me.
I still think Mrs. Carrier's in on it,
Okay.
but I think her and Thomas are in on it.
Yeah.
Because why would she say, "Oh, I met this Clyde guy.
Yeah.
He's on the level. I donated to him."
Yes.
And the Clyde guy might be Thomas in like makeup and spirit gum and shit.
Yeah. Or Clyde is a red herring and is literally just giving money to Native American children.
I do think that would be the
nice man.
funniest outcome, that he's
would
just a
be.
nice man trying to help children.
Yeah. He's just like a pushy, nice man.
Yeah. A pushy nice man. Yeah, those exist.
But the fact that she was just like, "Oh yes, you should give him your money,"
Yeah.
That is a good point.
and maybe Raleigh just wants to make robots.
Or he's dead in the wall.
What if Raleigh is the robot? No, don't write that down. That's nothing. This is once again, this is just me saying vampires still. I think they're still
Yeah.
vampires. Okay. Chapter 16, Double Suspects. To avoid possible contamination from the oriental wall hanging, Nancy and her friends used paper towels to lift it down. Gingerly, they turned it over. "I don't see anything suspicious," George remarked. Nancy took out her magnifying glass, which we previously know that she has, and went over every inch of both sides of the serpent picture. It took forever. "Neither do I," she said finally, "but I wonder if we should take off the back. What do you think, Daddy?"
Take off the back?
Yeah.
Isn't a tapestry just a tapestry?
Is it a tapestry or is it a painting? Or
The snake thing?
Yeah. No, it does say wall
thought it was-
hanging. I don't know.
I don't know.
What do you think, Daddy? I think we should leave the piece as is, he replied. It would be wiser to solve this mystery in some safer way. Mr. Drew added that he must return to River Heights directly after lunch. He glanced at his watch. We'll have to go now. Nancy locked the front door and pocketed the key. Les Morton, the guard, was just returning and apologized for being away longer than he had expected. Hey, sorry, I lost track of time. It's a 2-for-1 special down at the Rusty Bucket. He helped Nancy and the others carry the saplings.
Is Thomas still around right now?
No. Oh, wait, no, he is. He is with them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
I was just wondering if that was another disguised
like
person.
if he was Les Morton.
But maybe all three of them, maybe Raleigh, I don't know. Maybe all three of them are just fucking with everybody.
No fucking idea. Les helped Nancy and the others carry the saplings back to the woods. They're still fucking... Okay.
You have to safely dispose of those saplings.
Yes. Then the group climbed into Mr. Drew's car. On the way to the hospital, Thomas Banister expressed concern that there was still no definite clue to his brother's whereabouts. The police have an alarm out in every state. It's like, Raleigh, Raleigh, Raleigh.
And it's a nationwide manhunt for Raleigh?
Yes, in every state.
Jesus.
Even Hawaii.
Even Alaska.
Mr. Drew spoke up. And as Nancy told you, he spoke up.
I get it.
All ports in the Caribbean islands have been alerted, but neither Raleigh nor his cruiser have been seen in that area. I'm greatly worried about Raleigh, Thomas Banister said. He's such a daredevil, there's no telling what he may try. This uncertainty is maddening. I wish my brother would return and face the music. It's a good phrase. I wish my brother would face the music. That's fucked up.
Yeah. The others did not comment and in a short time arrived at the hospital. They learned that Mrs. Carrier had gone home, so Thomas drove off in his car to see his sister. Why did that scene need to happen? Nancy left the poisonous paint flakes with the chemist. The three girls and Mr. Drew returned to the motel. After lunch, he announced that he must leave. Good luck, he said to the girls, then grinned. By the time I talk with you again, you'll have the mystery solved, I'm sure. But I don't fucking care anymore. After Mr. Drew...
I have a meeting to get to.
Yes.
That girl of mine makes me a buttload of money.
After Mr. Drew had left for River Heights, Nancy suggested that she and the girls go to Mrs. Carrier's home and see how she was. They found her feeling better, but rather weak. The doctor said I had a narrow escape, she told them. Is there any report from the lab about the poison? Nancy queried. Mrs. Carrier said she had not heard. Then she added, I just can't understand Raleigh. Why did he do such weird things? And I've been thinking about something else, too. I doubt that we'll find enough money and valuables in the house to pay all his debts. Nancy told her about the other $1,000 bills the girls had discovered. How is no one like, and by the way, those don't fucking exist?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna look it up, though.
If $1,000 bills existed in 1971.
Yeah. I know that there's been weird currency before
Oh.
that we don't use anymore.
Oh, they definitely did it, I would say.
Nancy told her about the other... Oh, yep, I just said that. Really, the woman said, I still have a strong hunch that Raleigh didn't intend to return. He probably...
I'm sorry.
What? Go ahead.
Very quickly found the information.
Yeah.
So $1,000 bills did exist. They started in 1861 and they ended in 1934.
Okay.
So this was written in...
I just feel like... But it does feel like we are stuck in the 30s.
It does.
Which
I
is
think
fine,
we are.
but it's also weird.
Who is this bitch on the $1,000 bill?
There's a bitch on it?
No, I mean, who's this old man bitch? Robert Morris. Who the fuck is Robert Morris?
I don't know. Can you do your wiki hole in silence, please?
Who do we put on the $1,000 bill? Someone no one cares about because no one will ever have one.
What about you, Bob?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you really want me to.
Oh, he was the founding father? It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Never heard of him.
Bess spoke up. Couldn't Raleigh's house be sold to pay his debts? I also had that thought. I doubt it, Mrs. Carrier answered. Who would want to buy such a crazy-looking building? I would, especially if the robot came in there. The girls did not reply because their answer would have been nobody. Seeing that Mrs. Carrier was tired, the girls said goodbye to her and drove back to the motel. What shall we do now? George asked. Nancy replied, I'd certainly like to find the skeleton's bracelet. I forgot about that already.
There were 3 different versions of the $1,000 bill.
Okay.
The first one featured Robert Morris, who was a founding father, and along with Alexander Hamilton is considered one of the founders of like American
I've never heard of him.
banking financial institution. Yeah, who fucking cares?
He should have had a musical about him.
The second,
I was about to say he needs a
One of us to
musical.
remember him.
The second person that was on the $1,000 bill was DeWitt Clinton, who was mayor of New York, which I think is hilarious.
That's a great name.
That's crazy. Can you imagine them just being like, "We're gonna make a
Put a
$1,000
mayor.
bill and we're gonna put Bloomberg on it."
Not even a governor. A
Yeah,
mayor.
yeah, mayor of New York. And then the one I'm looking at, and when I was like, "Who's this bitch?" The last version of the $1,000 bill from 1928 to 1934 had Grover Cleveland on it.
Ah.
And the
Can I see?
Yeah, what I think is really funny is the back of the $1,000 bill only says text the United States of America $1,000.
I thought you were going to say the back only has Grover Cleveland's ass on
It's
it.
just his butt.
Or it just says bitch.
Yeah.
Or the back has Grover from Sesame Street.
Oh yeah.
You know, they should have done
They
that.
should have done that. Anyway, that's your history lesson for today.
They really fucked
So what
up.
I want to know is which version of the $1,000 bill is nailed to all of these portraits. Are they like Grover Cleveland, or are they like DeWitt Clinton?
That's a Morris.
That's a Morris. That's funny. Bess asked.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It's hard
You
to say
suppose
best
ass.
before almost anything. Like, I struggled before. I don't remember what it was, but it was best something, and
Yeah.
it was a struggle.
Oof.
Bess asked.
If it's best
Do you
secreted, you would just be
It's
completely
secreted.
It feels like this book is tricking us into talking proper the way it's written proper, because it's
love
also
it.
so fucking... You have to be like, Bess asked.
That might
Yeah.
be the trick.
I love
Bess
it.
asked.
Don't teach me elocution. Against my will.
Bess asked. Do you suppose Raleigh himself wants it and doesn't dare go near his own house to get it? My original joke was going to be Bess asked, do you suppose we could get lunch?
Oh yeah, John. They're always
Would've been
making.
very funny.
They're like every time they're like Bess anything. They're like, and then she was also hungry because she's plump. Is what they're saying.
I doubt that, Nancy replied. If
They're
so,
plump shaming.
Yes.
he would have stated in the note exactly where the bracelet is. I have a strong hunch another person wrote that message. But who? When the girls walked into the motel lobby, they noticed a letter in their mailbox. The clerk
I've
handed
never
it to
gotten
Nancy.
that much. Or any mail.
Yes,
To a
exactly.
hotel where I was
I've never
staying.
gotten a single letter at a hotel, let
They've
alone
gotten
a motel.
like 4 or 5.
She stared at it, puzzled. Where's the letter from? Is it a restaurant? Bess asked.
Jesus Christ.
Lee Up,
Wait, was that real?
Arizona.
That wasn't real.
No,
No.
it wasn't. I was reacting to reading ahead to
Okay.
Lee Up.
Okay.
Lee Up, Arizona, or Loop, Arizona, possibly.
Ooh, I like
the
Loop
same
better.
place. The same place where your letter from Sleepy Deer
Oh,
was
I forgot that was
mailed.
the name of the possibly fake child.
Hurry up and open it, George urged. Nancy slit the envelope and took out a single sheet of paper. Typed
Hold
on
on a
it
second.
was.
I'm sorry, Chris. But George urged is almost as bad as Bess asked. You need to stop with these fucking...
Oh my god.
George
She was
urged.
like, one day there will be
George urged.
podcasts. And I don't want them to be able to fucking
Yeah.
comprehend this book.
One day there will be podcasts,
I want them to struggle.
and I will dominate them.
Yes. I will dominate them from the past. George urged, and Bess asked, and you guys can go fuck yourselves.
Jesus Christ.
Nancy slit the envelope and took out a single sheet of paper. Typed on it was, "Find the silver armor mask." The three girls stared at the unsigned message, and Bess said, "I'll bet whoever wrote the note was hungry about the skeleton's bracelet. Sent this one, too. It's in the same type." George nodded. "And it could be Clyde Mead." "How in the world did you figure that out?" "It's easy," George answered. "Mead is involved with the Indian children, and he has probably gone out there. He knows Nancy and I don't approve of him, and he's playing these strange tricks on us. I think we should forget both anonymous messages."
Except the other
anonymous
one.
messages is another good one.
Except the other anonymous message was relevant.
Yeah.
It did actually lead you to a clue.
Bess turned to Nancy. "Do you agree that we should get lunch?" Nancy took a few seconds to think before answering, then said, "To go even further, I now suspect that there may be some connection between Raleigh Bannister and Clyde Mead." "What?" the cousins cried, and Bess asked, "Do you think Raleigh is out in Loop?" "He could be," Nancy replied, "but more likely he's on his fast cruise air. Clyde Mead probably is working this Indian racket alone." Bess was unconvinced, but George leaned toward Nancy's theory, which, as the listener remembers, Bess donated to the Clyde.
The Clyde.
Nancy said, "As soon as Daddy gets home, I'll phone him about this note. He may have some good advice." At 5 o'clock, she called her father. He was astounded to hear that the second mysterious note to Nancy had been mailed from Loop, and that his daughter and George suspected Clyde Mead of having sent it. "Nancy," he said, "I should attend to some business in Arizona. Suppose you and I make a quick trip out there and go to Loop."
Really?
I don't remember
"Oh,
where
Daddy!"
they are.
Nancy exclaimed. "That would be marvelous." Her father went on, "We can meet little Sleepy Deer if he exists, and get a line on Mead, and perhaps Raleigh." Nancy was thrilled by her father's invitation and asked how soon they would start.
Does
He
Mr. Drew know that there's only less than 25% of the book left? And that we're going to another state?
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does. I think this book is ending in Arizona, weirdly. I don't think we're
If
ever
I were
getting...
to rewrite one line in this book, it would be, instead of "we can meet little Sleepy Deer if he exists," it would be, "We can meet little Sleepy Deer if he's awake."
Oh,
Chris.
Chris.
We all love you so much.
Can't be that bad if you keep me around.
Nancy was thrilled by her father's invitation and asked how soon they would start. He suggested that she come home at once. "See if Bess's and George's parents will let..." Wait, who's talking? Oh, it's him. "See if Bess's and George's parents will let them remain at the motel so they can continue sleuthing in Mountainville until we get back." "I'll ask them, Daddy," Nancy replied. "If they can stay, shall I leave my car with them?" "Yes, you can come home on the bus." When Nancy told the girls about the Drews' plans, George said she would be glad to continue working on the case. Bess looked a bit wistful. That's
awful.
Bess looked a bit wistful.
She's fucking got us.
Fuck.
"I wish I could go to Arizona and see Sleepy Deer myself." She also admitted to being a little afraid of carrying on the detective work without Nancy in charge. Nancy smiled.
Is Nancy paying them for all this work?
I was also just wondering, like, is anyone making any money off of any of this? Because this is a lot of effort.
Yeah.
She's paying them in exposure.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Your
I mean,
friends
we're
are the
talking about
famous
him, aren't we?
Nancy Drew.
Nancy smiled. "You've helped me solve so many mysteries, Bess. You could take over this one alone. Of course, you girls are not to go to Raleigh's house by yourselves, but perhaps Thomas will take you. Who knows? Maybe by the time I get back, you will have found the skeleton's bracelet and the silver armor mask."
You're full of shit, Nancy.
Oh,
You don't
Nancy.
believe that at all.
Yeah, she's going to turn around and be like, as if.
Yeah.
These fucking idiots.
They're going to be eating the
One
whole
of them
time.
got trapped in a trap door.
Yeah.
"Do you think they're both in that weird house?" Bess queried. Much better than asking. Thank you, Bess. It's a better consonant combination there. "Yes," Nancy replied. "I feel the notes are genuine clues and not jokes."
Because they're not funny.
Right.
That's your first clue that they're not jokes.
They are not funny. I am sorry. I was sighing because of this first sentence, and then I realized it's the name, it's the last names of Bess and George. But I was like, Is this another two fucking
These
couples
more
that we
people.
have to?
Why are we getting
We
the last
don't
names
know
now?
what names go to which one, right?
I don't know.
That's the mystery.
Yes, the mystery. The Marvins and the Fanes gave permission for their daughters to remain at the motel, but cautioned them to be careful. Nancy packed her clothes, had a quick dinner, and then the girls drove her to the bus. She arrived in River Heights about 9 o'clock that evening. Hannah Gruen welcomed her with open arms.
I forgot about Hannah.
Who the fuck is Hannah?
She's the housekeeper.
Oh.
Hannah?
The Drews.
Hannah Gruen?
The
Drews' housekeeper?
Drews' housekeeper.
Did we have a voice for her?
I don't know, but she sounds German.
She does sound German. I don't know why, but she does.
Gruen, because
Gruen.
it does. You're like fucking with your camera.
What?
I don't
Oops,
know.
oops. Let me do this.
Did we do a German accent for her in the first
No, I
episode?
definitely
I don't know.
think
I
we
might have
did.
just been keeping that headcanon to myself.
I
the whole
definitely don't remember doing a German accent, but I'm going to try to now.
time. You don't have to.
I'm glad
I'm thinking,
you're safe, she said.
The accent
What
the lady
adventures
that was
have you
pretending
had?
to be,
Sorry, Chris.
the accent that the lady that was pretending to be Fester's mother in the first Addams Family movie.
Oh, yeah, kind of. If I try and do that, though, I'm going to think about it too hard, and I'm just going to do what I just did. Nancy nodded, saying, "You were right about my getting into hot water, Hannah. I almost did." She grinned impishly.
You almost did.
I
You were
almost
choked out
did.
by a robot.
A robot
You were
choked me.
unconscious.
I got my hand stuck
You
in a
just
revolving
saved your
bookcase.
friends from a basement
Holy
trapdoor.
shit.
By the way, did she almost get choked out by a robot?
No,
Because
she
I've been
got
wondering-
hugged.
Literally,
Oh.
no. He was
Well, as
choking
in
her.
the illustration that's behind me.
Yeah. As
Yes,
it was
okay.
written, the robot
Nice.
grabbed her, wrapped her arms around her, and then she passed out.
Yeah.
She was hugged too hard.
Yeah.
I thought this drawing looked very intense.
That I remember.
Oh, that is the drawing of the robot hugging her to death.
Yeah. So all this is happening after she died.
Yes, exactly. This whole thing is a Jacob's Ladder scenario.
It just started to make sense.
She grinned impishly. At the housekeeper's puzzled look, Nancy said, "Daddy didn't tell you?" She proceeded to explain about the disappearing bridge and the fire in the moat. Mrs. Gruen sighed. "I've no doubt. Now, what? Now I am doubly glad you're safe." Just then, Mr. Drew came in and said he obtained reservations on a jet going to Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, yeah. John, the picture you have behind you is different from the one that I was looking at before. Because, yeah, that one, he is, like, hugging her in the
is
kitchen.
that the-
I did not see that picture.
The cover of the book?
Well, the cover that we were looking at before was this one.
Yes.
It's just kind of like a mysterious
But-
girl and
Yeah, the
robot
hot
and a
pink.
banister.
Okay.
The hot pink one.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the cover I remember seeing. This is just the one I found today when I was
I
looking
don't
for
know
love
the
if that's
so
actually the cover
much.
because that's the drawing that was
No.
in the book.
Oh, the
Yeah.
hugging?
The hugging. Because every once in a while there's drawings also. We haven't come upon
There
one
is
yet.
a version of the like this is
is an
a
actual-
trimmed version of a cover.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But this-
The one we
But
saw
it's like a
didn't have the
library
green.
book. You know, you
Yeah.
can see how it's the kind printed on like the cloth
Yes.
cover.
Yeah.
So it was a different binding, different cover.
Maybe
so I bet
this
this
was
was
the
a
first
library
edition.
edition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or actually later, I don't know. This one looked. It's tough to know. It may even
Well,
be
that
like British or something. Who
drawing
knows
is
what
in the
why
book.
there was a different cover? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one I know is the painted cover that you held up, Becca, with it,
Yeah,
where it's
the
hot
red
pink
one, or-
The
with
one I
that
posted
crazy
on Instagram.
robot and
Yeah.
her looking kind of
Yeah.
looking very
He's
70s
just like,
in the
like,
foreground.
hovering above her.
What's up with this
Yeah.
robot?
The banister's like slightly crooked.
Oh shit.
Yes, I shelved that book many times, but I never stopped to
You
read
never
it.
peeked
You know,
inside.
I never peeked inside.
And now you're fulfilling your destiny.
I've always liked hot pink, so maybe I looked at the cover and was like, "That's bold,"
Yeah.
and then I put it up on the
Oh,
shelf.
oh shit,
Bold
there's a
choice.
robot.
So
Yeah.
it piqued your interest.
Yes, it did, Chris.
Okay. Just wanted to
Okay.
make sure.
Just then, Mr. Drew came in and said he had, got a jet to Phoenix, Arizona. From there, we'll take a connecting flight to Flagstaff, and then we'll go by helicopter to Loop and look for little sleepy deer.
It's crazy.
What the
How many?
fuck?
It's crazy that there. Ow, Dusty. There's so many nothing details, but then also so many regular details that I've taken so
Do
many
listeners
notes.
know you have a roommate named Dusty who sometimes bites Becca?
We
We have a roommate.
He
I
never
hope we
talks.
mention
He never
him
talks.
often
Yeah.
enough.
He never talks.
I'm
but
so
he-
sick of him. I mean, he'll just come in and stand behind her
Yeah.
while she's
Dusty's
reading.
just
and,
fucking with
yeah.
me,
And he'll
putting his claws in my
come in
leg.
and punch one of us, and we'll give you like, "Ow, Dusty, fuck off."
oh, he just looks like an old hippie. What's the story with Dusty? Why does he live with you guys? Maybe we can talk about it off mic.
We'll save that for later. The next morning, after attending Sunday
old
church
hippie.
service, like good Christians, father and daughter returned to the house to pick up their luggage. That's what it says.
They went to church before. That is what it said.
It says father and daughter.
Oh, I thought.
No, it
like
does say
good
church.
Well, I
Christian.
mean,
Oh, no, sorry.
I didn't know which part of that
The
sentence.
part I added was like good Christians, but all of that was still insane.
I just think it's crazy that they went to church before they left, and we had to know about it.
I agree.
well, if you don't, you go to hell.
Oh, what? Are we going to finish solving a mystery and not have gone to church? Like
I went to
heathens.
church
devil
before
in.
starting this show tonight. I have to.
Hannah wished them a good and safe trip. Have a good and safe trip! Nancy blew kisses to her, and Mr. Drew waved goodbye as their taxi drove off to the airport. They had to change planes in New York City, and by late afternoon
Where did they
reached,
start? I don't remember. Okay, if
River-
you don't know.
River something?
Well,
River
I
Heights.
don't know where that is.
River Heights.
River Heights where?
River Heights, Drewsville.
America.
I'm assuming East Coast if they had to go to New York
That's what
first
I'm also
to go to
assuming.
Arizona.
I'm assuming New England. Feels New England.
Cool. Well, that's
doesn't it?
really helpful.
Massachusetts.
All your guesses are really helping me. Thank you.
Massachusetts.
a lot of mysteries in lighthouses.
Massachusetts.
What?
I don't know.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. That's the thing people say. I mean, not in seriousness.
Do they have a lot of taxes there?
Is that why?
Probably.
I think it's okay. Here's
I've
what
heard
I
of
think. I think it's
massholes.
right wingers who don't like paying taxes who say that taxes are high, and so they call that state Massachusetts.
Yes.
It is
But
expensive
I'm not sure
up there.
if people that live there say, yeah, the taxes are too high here. I don't know.
You know what? I wish
Here
I
in
hadn't said it.
Taxachusetts. I bet if you said Taxachusetts
Yeah.
in Boston,
Yeah.
you would get your ass kicked so hard
Oh, I'd get punched.
so fast.
I'd get super punched. Yeah, by a guy named Sean.
And his 8 brothers
Yes,
also
yes,
named Sean.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'll wake up on the T. They had to change planes in New York City, and by late afternoon we reached Phoenix. I guess we'd better stay here overnight, Mr. Drew said. That will be just as well, because I want to make inquiries about the area where the Melody property was located. That's probably one of the swindled couples. I don't remember.
It is. The Indian reservation house
Right.
swindle.
Right. That was the first swindle.
The first swindle.
Full circle.
While skimming, I
Full
thought
swindle.
he had said,
swindle.
because I want to make daiquiris.
Because I want to make
I want to
daiquiris.
get drunk tonight.
Full
So
swindle.
River Heights is supposed to be somewhere in the Midwest. Many
Oh.
people think Illinois is where
Okay.
it's actually
That
supposed
makes
to be.
no sense. To go from Illinois to New York to Phoenix?
You don't know how many connecting
Yes, it
flights
makes
there were
sense,
in
Jonathan.
71? I don't think we had Southwest Airlines then.
No, it makes sense. You guys shut up.
I hate
I
it.
don't know when I became like this big Nancy Drew defender.
Don't you dare say anything bad about Nancy.
Because
She is a saint.
She's a
if we
saint.
don't stop nitpicking, we'll never finish.
True.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, we do really need to read.
That's true. I have to go to bed at some point
Yeah.
tonight.
Oh my god.
I still have to take a shower before work tomorrow.
We gotta read. Also, we might find out something about Raleigh Bannister that will help us track him down. The following morning, the Drews went back to the airport and flew to Flagstaff. Oh, so they went to New York and stayed overnight. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. Read. When they landed, the two immediately boarded a helicopter bound for the small town of Loop.
Yep.
Loop. The young pilot
Loop.
was pleasant and pointed out the interesting scenery along the way. There were mountains with mesas on top.
I don't care.
And extensive valleys, some as dry as deserts, Bekah.
I don't care, don't tell me. Here and there were
There's a-
flocks of sheep that could be seen grazing. It didn't fucking matter. We don't have much rain in the summertime, the pilot said. But fortunately, sheep can live without water for long periods of time. I didn't know that, and I don't care.
They suck the moisture off their wool.
Ew.
Call them
What
short
if the pilot
camels.
said, for some reason, I just told you that?
For some reason, I just can't stop talking about sheep.
That's how he starts every sentence. For some reason, we're about to land.
When he set the helicopter down just outside the village of Loop, he said, "For some reason, I'll return for you at 4 o'clock this afternoon." The Druze walked up the main street of the Navajo town. The villagers stared at them but did not speak. The Indian men wore blue denim pants, bright shirts, scarves, and large felt hats, with a band across their foreheads. You can picture it. You've seen those cartoons from back in the day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what stereotypes look like.
Folks, I just want to say, I know we're about to enter into a section of a book written in 1971 that features indigenous people. And wow. I'm just saying, Bekah, I'm really sorry that you had to be the first person to read all this
I'm
description.
ready to skim.
Yeah.
No,
here we go.
She's the only person that would have read that.
Here we go. The women also wore clothes. Anyway, Nancy and her father went directly to the post office. "I hope the postmaster will give us Sleepy Deer's address," she whispered. "Sometimes postal authorities won't do this."
I'm sorry?
Rightly, because it seems illegal.
It's super not cool.
Oh, man.
The post office guy was a nice man. The Jews explained that they had come from the east and were looking for that child. "Could you tell us where he lives?" Nancy asked. The answer was a bit disconcerting. "The little boy, you mean, lives several miles outside of Loop." Nancy's heart sank. You flew across the country, and now a few miles is a hurdle.
You were just in a helicopter.
How were she and her father to get there? Suddenly she had an idea and asked, "Would it be possible for us to rent horses?"
Fuck off!
The postmaster inquired, "Can you use a western saddle?"
No, I'm familiar with an eastern one. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yes.
Don't you have a helicopter?
Don't you know Nancy? Nancy replied, "I've ridden in the West before."
It's a callback
Obviously.
to a Western book we didn't read.
Oh.
The man gave the Jews directions to a hogan at the edge of town. It was a typical mud-covered log hut. The elderly couple who lived there were glad to rent 2 horses.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
You gotta skim and pivot. Skim and pivot.
Skim and pivot, Chris.
All right. I'll do my best.
And no voices.
Well.
Yep. No. They suggested that Nancy ride the horse named Blackfeet. We're off to a great start. The husband gave directions to the small Indian village where Sleepy Deer lived.
He just kept stepping in paint.
Hooves can be black.
Mr. Drew and Nancy set off at a canter along a narrow road, but soon found it was easier and more comfortable to ride on the sun-baked grass. It took them 2 hours to reach the other village. Here, the Hogans were scattered along the base of a craggy cliff. I'm assuming Hogans were a type of building and not a wrestler. The dusty riders stopped in front of a trading post with blankets, hats, jewelry, and groceries for sale. They dismounted and tied their horses. Mr. Drew went inside to inquire where they could find Tom Sleepy Deer Smith. "Last house," the man said, pointing toward the east. Mr. Drew thanked him and came outside. He and Nancy started walking toward the Smith home. Within minutes, Navajos, spelled incorrectly, poured from the various dwellings and followed the two up the street.
Okay.
Apparently, someone had
Navajos.
Apparently, someone had spread the word that visitors were in the village. When they reached the last house, a man and little boy came outside. The Drews said, "How do you do?" And Nancy smiled warmly at the child. "Is your name Tom Sleepy Deer Smith?" she asked.
Yes.
"Yes," the little boy said shyly. "We've ridden a good many miles to see you," Nancy told him. Mr. Drew spoke to the father about the Navajo territory and said he understood that certain people were making claims on property which belonged to the reservation. "We have a little trouble," the man answered. Nancy leaned over and said to Sleepy Deer, even though his name's Tom, "We wanted to tell you that our friend Bess Marvin loved your letter."
Bess Marvin.
The little boy looked at his father but did not reply. Nancy continued, "You did receive the money she sent you, didn't you?"
Uh-oh.
This fucking book.
Again, Sleepy Deer looked at his father but said nothing, and the Drews realized the Smiths had become suspicious of them. Don't be afraid to talk, Mr. Drew said. My daughter and I are not government investigators. This is just a friendly call.
Oh. Yeah, that
Still,
sounds
the
reassuring.
Smiths did not... Yeah, I know. That's just exactly what a government investigator would say.
Yeah, that's what you want to yell to a child. Don't be afraid to talk!
Talk to me, goddammit! Still, the Smiths did not reply. Before Nancy had a chance to ask another question, they all heard a warning shout. Looking in the direction from which it had come, Nancy's heart pounded. Her horse had broken loose and was running wildly up the street toward them.
Oh, my God.
The villagers scattered, and Mr. Drew moved out of the way. Nancy stood still. Spreading her arms sideways to full length, she yelled, "Whoa, Blackfeet, whoa!"
Oh, Nancy.
The next chapter, the funeral of Nancy Drew.
You can read
Is this me?
Yeah, this is you too.
Chapter
Lucky
17,
you.
which has a title. Nancy made a flying leap and caught the horse's bridle. "Whoa, Blackfeet, whoa!" she cried out. "Nobody's going to hurt you." The frightened animal seemed to recognize her and knew she was kind. He came to a dead stop. Wait a minute. How did he... Okay. He came to a dead stop.
Nancy Drew?
Wait, you're Nancy Drew. He came to a dead stop that almost threw Nancy to the roadway. But she hung on, pulled down the horse's head, and began to pat him. Within seconds, he was as docile as he had been while she was riding him. Sleepy Deer began to clap and exclaimed, "You are a brave girl!" The Navajos looked at Nancy admiringly, and they did something. Mr. Smith said it was the sort of thing they did. But they didn't like that Nancy had been in danger, is basically what's happening, and they thought she was brave.
We're reading the early version, aren't we?
Yes. Well, no, there is no late version of this.
That's just what it was.
This is straight up 1971, untouched.
Unfiltered 1971.
She had kept some of the villagers from being injured by the runaway horse. Mr. Drew clasped his daughter tightly in his arms and said, "You took your life in your hands, my dear, but I'm very proud of you." The crowd melted away. As Nancy once more tied Blackfeet to a post, securely this time, Mr. Smith said eagerly, "Now I tell you the whole story." He revealed that his son had not received any money, and 2 other children in the village had been asked the same question by tourists. "They get no money from anybody either," he added. The man went on to say that the people in the village were poor. Due to a very severe winter and a hot, dry summer, their crop of corn had been sparse. Sleepy Deer spoke up. I needed to take a breath. Sleepy Deer spoke up. "Maybe we have a rain dance soon." Oh, for some reason. Because of the corn.
Because of the corn. That's exactly what he said.
Brave choice.
The Drews looked at each other. I'm not prepared. The Drews looked at each other.
Skim and pivot.
You're gonna do great.
No, I'm not, Chris. There was no question but that these people needed help. Sleepy Deer's father continued to tell his story. About 2 years ago, two men had come to the Indian village. We think they're just tourists, Mr. Smith said. He revealed it was sometime later that the Navajos became suspicious. During a party, they learned that the 2 visitors had been writing down the names of all the villagers, particularly those of the children. Then, one day, another tourist asked a boy if he wrote a letter to someone in a distant place, and the answer was no. We Navajos are worried something is wrong. I had a lot of grammar to that sentence.
Oh, man.
Why?
That is so bad.
A lot.
Well, I'm glad I'm not seeing it because I can just focus on why didn't they just fucking make up some names?
Great question. Yeah.
What difference does it make?
I was assuming they were just making
too.
up names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to know their actual names. It seems worse, actually, to show up and talk to that
It
specific
seems
child.
like you're setting yourself up to get caught.
Sleepy Deer?
You didn't report this to the authorities? Oh, you didn't report this to the authorities? Nancy asked. The boy and his father shook their heads, and Mr. Smith said, "We're afraid of trouble by those men, so we keep quiet." Mr. Drew told him that since the villagers were innocent of any wrongdoing, there was nothing to fear. "And the 2 men should be reported and arrested," he added. Nancy asked if the two inquisitive strangers had given their names. Mr. Smith nodded. They said their names were Fitch and Raleigh. Fitch? Okay.
Not Abercrombie and Fitch, however.
Not Abercrombie.
So this is before these guys broke up.
Yes, yeah.
And then Fitch found a new
One of
partner.
them was very stylish. The Drews were excited to hear this. They felt sure that Raleigh was Raleigh Banister, you think? And that Fitch was Clyde Mead.
Adoy.
Furthermore, this seemed like definite proof that the two men were pals and had been working rackets together for some time. Nancy asked, "Did Mr. Fitch or Mr. Raleigh ever return to your village?" "No," Mr. Smith replied. This set Nancy to thinking, and thinking got her drinking. If neither of the two... If neither of the men had been in the area recently, who had mailed the fake letters? She asked Mr. Smith if he knew.
He said that everyone in the village had been questioned and all had denied any knowledge of this. The Indians in Loop had also been consulted and nobody there knew anything about the mailing of the letters. Then it must have been done by a tourist, Mr. Drew said. He turned to Mr. Smith. Do any of the tourists come here often? I mean, the same tourist? Obviously, that's what I just fucking said. And I repeated myself like a dick. No. John's father. Wait, what was his? Tom?
Who?
Tom's father.
Tom's father said a bus carrying sightseers came twice a week to Loop and brought visitors to his village. Later today, one came here, he added. Then... Fuck, how did you do this? I can't even comprehend the sentence.
Oh, just add the words that need to be in there.
Then...
Chris, you want to help her out?
Later today, one will come here?
Well, no.
This is Mr. Drew speaking, so it's basically
Later today, one came here, he added, and then it's Mr. Drew talking.
Then we'll wait and talk to the people on it? Okay.
Oh, okay.
the bus.
So he's saying
on the bus.
Oh,
Later today, one will come
there will
here.
be a bus.
yes. And
Then we'll wait and talk to the people on it. Okay. Mr. Drew told him. Then Mrs.
Oh, it's so bad.
Then Mrs. Smith came from the family's Hogan. She spoke to her husband in their native language. He smiled and said to the Drews in English, "Would you accept an invitation to eat with us?" Nancy and her father smiled also. "We'd be delighted to," Mr. Drew answered. Their host led the way into the Hogan. The walls were whitewashed, and on them hung a bow and arrow, several pieces of stuff. There were no chairs in the room. The floor was covered with stuff. In the center were several bowls of food. The Smith family sat down in a semicircle and motioned for Nancy and her father to also sit down.
What style would you say they were sitting?
On the
Crisscross
floor.
applesauce.
On the floor. They ate some food, and Nancy said it was delicious, and told Tom's mother that she is a very good cook. The Smiths smiled and nodded, but made no response.
Okay.
Nancy had once read that some people don't like compliments.
Yeah.
And all
Perfectly
across the
normal
world.
trait for anybody to
Some
have.
people
Yes.
just are uncomfortable with compliments.
Yeah, they are.
Yes, right.
Anyone from any place.
Anyone from
It
any
can
place
make people
can be uncomfortable
uncomfortable.
with compliments. Oh God.
Fuck.
I'm
Right.
actively crying right now. Fuck.
In some ways, we're taking the coward's way out.
Oh, yeah.
But in some
Well-
ways, this is the bravest thing that
I was
anyone's
just
ever
gonna
done.
say, are
One of the things she edited out was that the floor was linoleum. Like she was just so done.
no, I think
with all of it.
I think the skimming and the pivoting is the thing that
The
There
takes
was
one
brightly
normal
colored
thing.
tile, and then there was also something else in that one. There was some, yeah.
I'm gonna be reading this as is.
Oh, you don't have to.
If I see something real bad, I'm gonna
Please,
edit. But,
please do. Yes.
My brain, I'm staring at words.
Yeah.
Nancy said, "Let me get all the spit out of my mouth." From all the disgust, because I saw what was actually written on the previous page.
God.
Nancy said, "Would you be willing to let me and some of my friends help Sleepy Deer and the other children in your village?" She expected a quick affirmative response and was shocked to see dark looks come over the Smiths' faces. "Oh dear," she thought, "I've said something wrong." Her father, however, guessed what was going through the Smiths' minds. What proof did they have that the Drews would not use the Indians for some ulterior motive of their own, as Fitch and Raleigh had? Mr. Drew explained that he was a lawyer, and his daughter liked to solve mysteries.
That's very good credentials.
"I'm a lawyer, and my daughter likes to solve mysteries. That's believable,
She likes
right?"
puzzles of the humankind.
He said they probably knew who the swindlers were, and that two of their friends had already given money for the Navajo children to one of the men. Every time I read Navajo with an H instead of a J, it's like
doesn't make it's bad.
Yeah.
"We're trying to find both swindlers," Mr. Drew said. "That's why we came here." Finally, he convinced the Smiths of the Drews' sincerity. Nancy and her father thanked them for their hospitality. Then Nancy asked Sleepy Deer if he would please show them around the village. Together, they climbed up some natural stone steps to the top of the cliff. She found herself there. While the Drews were enjoying a view of the surrounding countryside, the little boy said, "Long ago, when the white man came to take our land, we Navajos moved up here." If you read it in a Baltimore accent, it kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy recalled having heard that when the western territory of the United States was being settled, soldiers greatly outnumbered the Indians. To avoid being taken prisoner...
I had also heard that.
We've all heard that.
To avoid being taken prisoner or killed, the Indians had fled to the flat tops of the mountains. When peace was restored, they had returned to the valleys. "Now we go to see the bus," Sleepy Deer said as the three climbed down. He led the Drews up the main street of the village and waited. About 20 minutes later, the bus arrived. I mean, like, the way Sleepy Deer's written, it just makes me think he's like 3.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You're reading him like a little kid, and it's helping.
Okay. Nancy and her
also,
father...
his name's Tom, if you would have subbed that in.
Yeah.
I can't keep remembering that because I see Sleepy Deer and both words have the first one capitalized. It's messing with my head.
Okay.
Nancy and her father carefully watched the tourists who disembarked. Most of them were women, and none of them looked shifty-eyed or suspicious.
Is this a bachelorette destination? Is this like the Nashville of 1971?
We're getting our Navajo on.
Oh my God.
Now
Come on, Navajos.
It's a callback to Bekah's joke, and it explains the spelling in the book.
Sure does.
That's my headcanon.
Yep. Guys, nothing's offensive.
Nothing in the world.
Until we keep calling attention to it.
So is this me?
Yes.
Yep.
The driver and the guide stayed in the bus while the passengers looked at the various articles which the Indians had brought out to sell. "I'll talk to the driver," Mr. Drew said. "Maybe he can give us a clue to those swindlers, Nancy. Why don't you speak to the guide?" As Mr. Drew was about to climb into the bus, the guide stepped out. Nancy approached him. "May I ask you a few questions?" she said. The man looked annoyed and answered, "You're not paying for this tour, but okay, go ahead. What do you want to know?" Nancy was not sure how to proceed with this unpleasant person, but she smiled and said, I should have made him more unpleasant. Hold on. "You're not paying for this tour."
That's much better.
"But okay, go ahead. What do you want to know?" Nancy was not sure how to proceed with this unpleasant person, we can all agree.
He was so unpleasant.
But she smiled and said, "You'll be surprised to hear this, but my father and I are out here tracking down a couple of swindlers." "What? You dumbass!" the guide exclaimed. Nancy decided to tell the full story. When she
Jesus
finished,
Christ, 3 hours later.
I know.
God damn.
That's the biggest.
Yeah.
When she finished is the next phrase.
At one point, this guy should be like, "Am I supposed to remember who the jocks are? Or did they come up again and they matter? What about the Aldrins?"
I just want to know if she looks as dead inside as I did when I had to recap it.
No,
You're telling me the Fanes and the Marvins were involved? What? The guide exclaimed. Nancy decided to tell the story. When she when she finished, a puzzled look came over the man's face. You know, he said, I may be involved in this swindle. Entirely innocently, I assure you. I believe you,
Yes.
Nancy remarked, eager for the man to explain further. The guide said that about 18 months ago, two men who had been passengers on the same bus trip asked him if he would like to earn a little extra money. I said sure, and they told me they'd write to me once in a while in enclosed letters, which I was to mail in the Leop post office. I didn't see any harm in that, and each time they sent a letter for me to mail, they enclosed $2.
That's two I didn't have before.
That can get
What's
me
with the
3 weeks
name?
worth of beer.
What were the names of these men? Nancy asked.
What could they possibly fucking be, Nancy?
God.
Fitch and Raleigh.
Ba, ba,
But the
ba.
envelopes that came to me and the letters to be mailed did not have the sender's name or address.
Oh, shit.
Where had they been mailed from? The young detective asked.
The guide said that they had come from many different places. I never paid attention to the names on the envelopes I was to mail or where they were going, so I can't tell you anything about that. On a sudden inspiration, Nancy asked, By any chance, do you happen to have with you one of the letters you mailed? Yes, I do, the guide replied. He took an envelope from his pocket and handed it to Nancy, and then hurried off to his group of
Why would
tourists.
he have a letter he already mailed?
Excuse me. Sorry, what?
Why would he have a letter he already mailed?
It's to be mailed.
To be mailed.
You read
To
it
be
wrong.
mailed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Pending
sorry.
mailing.
Sorry, guys.
Which is it, Jonathan?
Nancy gasped. The letter was addressed to Mrs. Carrier,
Oh no.
the latest swindlee. At this moment, Mr. Drew stepped from the bus and reported that he had learned nothing from the driver. Completely useless, he said.
You know, the mail carrier thought that was kind of funny when he saw Mr. Carrier on that note. He had a little chuckle to himself. It's like, you know what? I sure hope I do meet a Mrs. Carrier someday.
Maybe we were meant to be.
right?
Someday my dream will come.
Oh my god. He learned nothing from the driver. But I learned plenty, Daddy, Nancy told him.
Oh, I thought that was the driver. That
Look
was the
at this.
guide.
That was the guide. Didn't he sound like a guide? And
Yeah,
over
get
here,
straight.
I'm not
you
amending
see.
my notes. My notes will be wrong, but I don't give a shit.
Her
He's
father,
an unpleasant person.
yeah, he's an unpleasant guide.
I would think it would be the opposite.
You would think that. You would.
A guide
We
should
got
be
Indians over
personable.
here.
Yeah.
We got Indians over there. Look around.
Up there's a big mesa. Who
place
gives
is
a
lousy
shit?
with Indians.
You guys, you got any letters you want me to mail? That's a service I do.
I'll do
apparently.
anything for $2.
I'll do anything for $2.
$2
That's my
a letter.
motto. They call me $2 Timmy. I'll do anything. Her father stared at the envelope in disbelief. Then he suggested that Nancy open it. That's mail fraud. Inside was a note in the same childish handwriting as the one Bess had received.
Hasn't
The letter-
been posted yet. It's not mail fraud.
Oh, true. The letter contained a similar image,
Her
similar
dad's a lawyer.
message, and the signature was a girl's name. This is great evidence, Mr. Drew remarked. Nancy wondered if the girl lived here or in Lip. She hurried off to find Tom. He said that Mary was a playmate of his. I'll take you to see her, the boy offered. As Nancy suspected, the girl had never heard of Mrs. Carrier and had received no money from her. Mr. Drew looked grim as he said, Those swindlers may be working their racket in other reservations. I will notify the Department of the Interior as soon as we get back to the hotel. Damn! I'm
The
taking this all the way to
government will
Washington.
handle this.
Yeah. All the way to the top, Nancy.
I think I said this the last time we read,
Yeah.
but I really thought there would be more robot in this book.
Me fucking too. I don't think there's going to be any more robot in this book.
There has to be. They have to
Very-
go back to the house and go through that wall.
We're 85% of the way through. We're in Arizona.
We should be a lot further.
We should be a lot further. Stop interrupting me.
Classic us.
As the Drews walked toward their horses, I forgot that they did that. They saw their drivers summoning them. Saw the driver summoning them. Hurrying forward, Nancy asked, "What's up?" What's up is just, it seems anachronistic. "Listen to this radio report," the man said excitedly. We haven't done the bus driver's voice yet. The announcer was saying that news of a new copper deposit had just flashed over the teletype. What the fuck?
Already people were rushing to the area to put in claims for the surrounding land. "It's turning into a riot," the announcer finished. Nancy and her father looked at each other. Mr. Drew exclaimed, "Nancy, that's near the property that the swindlers sold the Melodies, and it's only 6 miles from here." "Let's go!" Nancy cried out and ran toward her horse.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
This is hard. 18.
I wonder what happens in
Thank
this
you.
chapter.
Chapter 18. Bridge out! Exclamation point.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Couldn't they save less in print by just saying 18?
They could.
Like
But they
1-8.
spared no expense. The 2 horses sensed that their riders were in a hurry. They galloped hard across the dry valley dotted with cacti. Presently, Nancy and her father saw a sign. "This is the end of the reservation," Mr. Drew remarked. "We don't have much farther to go." As they neared the site of the copper discovery, the Drews saw a crowd of people milling around. They had come in cars, by helicopter, and on horseback. Men were shouting loudly and arguing angrily. "I spoke for this piece first," one man cried. "You didn't, it's mine,"
It's like
said
it's a
another.
mad world. Isn't that
What
that
is
movie with all the people in cars?
What? I don't know.
John,
I don't know
you
what
I think
know.
so. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
He said yes.
Validated.
I'm just trying not to lengthen any
Yes.
interruptions because
You're
we're only
absolutely
85%.
right.
I know,
Nancy
yeah.
and her father halted.
I can hear it in your voice be like, I want to tangent, but I'm not.
Yes.
All right, here's
talk
a
about
rule. Here's a rule going forward.
As you interrupt me and keep talking.
I know.
If you're reading, you can ad lib. We can only react by laughing, but not actually saying words.
I'm gonna not agree to that.
Yeah, I don't appreciate it either.
Vetoed. Nancy and her father halted at the fringe of the crowd and dismounted. This bared. The rule is read really fast, and if you got a joke, you got to get it in there.
Get the
as
joke
fast as
in,
you
and
can.
if the tangent's worth it, it'll happen.
Yeah.
But,
We're
but
gonna
it's
be
gotta
here
be
until
worth it.
1 a.m.
Yeah.
Maybe the reader should give everybody a joke break. Like the reader decides, got any jokes, anybody? Got any jokes? Okay.
I love is
And then
that
they
calling
move on.
attention to it is making it take longer.
I know, right? In this barren area, there was not even a tree to which they could tie the horses. "Now, horse, don't you dare run away," Nancy admonished her horse. She and her father strode forward. Claims were being made by miners, real estate men, and others hoping to make a quick fortune. A mannish-looking woman,
A what?
for some fucking reason,
Mannish?
sure, was haranguing the crowd, urging them to leave. "This land boom deal must be settled peacefully," she shouted. No one paid any attention.
Even though she was mannish?
I know, right? As the Drews came closer, they realized that the woman was
The problem
standing...
was she was only mannish looking. She didn't sound
Yeah.
mannish when
Right.
she shouted.
She was
Exactly.
like, no one do
That
it.
would've helped.
They're
And
like,
they're like,
"No, she's a woman! Don't be fooled!" As the Drews came closer, they realized that the woman was standing up in the stirrups of her saddle so she could be heard.
Like a
"She's
man."
faking being tall!" Mr. Drew chuckled softly and said to Nancy, "That woman has the right idea. I think I'll try to help her." "All right, Mr. Drew." He
I'll make
pushed
her
his
taller.
way-
Is there a Mrs. Drew?
I don't know. I hope not. He pushed his way among the fist-waving group and spoke to her. She smiled at him and said, "Come on."
Come on. What I think is funny is that us trying to do it as fast as possible is actually opening up a lot of new jokes.
I know. We keep remarking on that, and it takes more time.
Chris, go!
Mr. Drew swung himself up lightly in back of her. He swung
did.
himself onto the horse.
Yeah, he did. Legolas style.
He clapped his hands loudly and asked for the crowd's attention. Surely they would listen to a man. Seeing this, Nancy began
mannish-looking
clapping
man.
also and yelling, "Quiet, everybody, quiet." The 2 commanding voices silenced the crowd. Mr. Drew said in a loud voice, "I represent a client who received a deed to property near here. The deal turned out to be a fraud. What proof have you people that the report of a copper deposit may not have been given out by swindlers?" His listeners looked at one another and began murmuring, "Hush, hush, hush, hush."
All of them said, huh?
Mr. Drew went on, "Surely someone has title to this property. Why don't you find out who it is instead of trying to stake a claim? My advice to you is to leave before somebody gets hurt. If the man who has made the highest bid will give his name and address to me, I promise to put the owner in touch with him. A grizzled, middle-aged man.
I should know. I'm a lawyer.
Well, yeah, to be fair, who
Yeah.
the fuck are you, though?
Right, yeah.
A grizzled, middle-aged man with a deep suntan and bright blue, honest-looking eyes stepped forward.
You can trust me.
Thank you, he said, and wrote his name and address on a piece of paper. Rather grudgingly, the crowd dispersed. Nancy was smiling broadly because she was abroad. She was so proud of her father. The woman on the horse said to him, I don't know how you did it. Many of the men around here are a pretty tough lot. I came because I think this land belongs to my family. Mr. Drew smiled and told the woman he thought she had a lot of courage, but she was still a woman. Then he rode off with Nancy. It's getting late, he said. I hope our pilot doesn't take off without us. A strong breeze had come up and Nancy was fascinated watching the huge balls of tumbleweed rolling across the plain. The Drews made good time to loop, and to their relief, found the helicopter waiting. They returned their horses, paid the owners for their use, and said goodbye.
Did any of that need to happen?
All of it needed to happen, and it was perfect. By the time Nancy and her father reached their hotel in Phoenix, it was past 8 o'clock. I'm famished, said Nancy. While they were enjoying a steak dinner, Mr. Drew remarked, Nancy, do you mind returning to River Heights alone? I have more business to attend to out here.
Everyone's abandoning each other all the time.
Everybody's
know.
making plans and abandoning
Specifically him.
Like, I'm gonna go. You want to stay? Because I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I have more business to attend to out here, and I'm sure you're eager to get back to Mountainville and report what you've learned. I certainly am. Nancy's eyes danced in anticipation. A little later, she got in touch with the airline and made reservations
Put this
for an
podcast on
early
double
morning.
speed.
Exactly. If someone does listen to this show on double speed, I'm giving them a real ride
You're
right
just
now.
gonna sound like.
Yeah. For some reason, it makes me sound like high pitched too.
Yeah.
A little later, she got in touch with the airline and made reservations for an early morning flight to New York, then one to River Heights, presumably Illinois.
Christ.
Immediately after breakfast the next day, Mr. Drew went with Nancy to the airport and wished her a good trip. I haven't forgotten about notifying the Department of the Interior, yes, he said.
Thank Christ.
Thank God.
God, he's such a, that's like a humble brag.
Yeah.
He made sure people heard him say that. I'll do so first thing.
I have connections in Washington.
You know I have a friend there.
Yeah.
Nancy waved to him as she stepped through the cabin doorway of the plane. Hours later, she reached River Heights and took a taxi home. Hannah Gruen hugged and kissed the young detective. Oh, Nancy, I'm so glad to see you. And how's your father? He's fine, but busy. Wait until I tell you the news. During supper, she gave Hannah all the exciting details of her Western adventure. The housekeeper's eyes opened wide in astonishment. So you have proof that Clyde Mead is a swindler, she exclaimed.
Germanly.
That is, Germanly. They had just finished eating when Ned Nickerson telephoned.
Ned Nickerson.
forgot
I'm
about
sorry.
Wait, who is that?
What?
Ned is Nancy's boyfriend, kind of.
Oh, right.
Okay.
It was like
He's her casual
Ned
BF.
is the guy
Okay,
she
so-
likes going on dates with the most.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, I got it. Okay. Hey, Nancy, I'm glad I found you at home, he said. I understand from Bess and George that your dad took off in a big hurry for Arizona. Nancy promised to tell him about it the next time she saw him. Ned chuckled. That's going to be sooner than you think. Bert and Dave and I are free tomorrow. We thought we'd go to Mountainville and help on the mystery.
That is, if you haven't already solved it. Only part of it, Nancy replied. We're only 88% of the way through this
Jesus.
mystery.
Through this adventure.
Can we do this? I don't understand why this is
I
taking
think we can.
so long.
I think we're really doing it. This new speed reading version is really
Only part of it,
places.
Nancy replied, but refused to divulge any more on the phone. Okay, the young man answered. Then he asked teasingly, how about you letting us boys clear up the rest of it?
What,
I
the
dare
mystery?
you, bitch, she answered.
Fuck you.
Ned laughed. Haha, we'll pick you up at 10 o'clock. One of the boys will call Bess and George and tell them to expect us. Before going to bed, Nancy unpacked the clothes she had used for her trip and substituted appropriate ones for Mountainville.
Who cares?
It's colder there. The next morning, she said goodbye to Hannah and drove off in Ned's car. Auf Wiedersehen, is what Hannah said. Bert and Dave were with him. They arrived at 12 o'clock and checked into the Ruppert Motel. Bess and George were waiting, and they said they had reserved a table in the dining room of the motel. As soon as they sat down, Bess said, "I want to hear all about everything. Who wants the floor first?" I got confused by that, but she meant to speak.
I do, Dave replied. We checked on Clyde Mead's claim that he was a professor at Emerson. He was there only 3 months giving special lectures on marine biology. He wasn't very well liked and he suddenly quit.
"That sounds like him," George remarked. "He probably had another racket coming up." Bess looked hurt. "You could be wrong, George. Well, Nancy, begin your story." "Before I start," Nancy said, "tell me, how is Mrs. Carrier?" "Oh, she's fine," Bess replied. "By the way, the poison on that portrait is aconite or aconite, depending on how that's pronounced. Aconite.
Hold on. Aconite. Okay.
George spoke up.
Move on.
"We drove over to see Mrs. Carrier this morning and got the key to the Raleigh's place." As Nancy told what she and her father had discovered in Arizona, her listeners were spellbound, but Bess looked downcast. "Poor Tom," she said.
Oh, I got an illustration. Oh, it's really fun.
Ooh, let me see.
Oh my god, it's so fun.
Oh my god. What in the fuck?
Holy shit. Okay.
That's great. Cool.
That's the end of Drag Me to Hell.
All the young people vowed to help the Navajo children of Loop and the nearby community where Tom lived. They appointed Bess to be chairman of the committee. After lunch, Nancy and her friends decided to drive to Raleigh Banister's house. She and Ned started off in her car. The others followed in his. The convertible reached the top of the hill first. The guard's car was there. Ned parked. Everyone had cars. All the cars were there and all the people were there. Without warning, the moat flamed up. Nancy and Ned hurried to get across. "I'm glad we didn't have to put down the saplings," Ned remarked.
Oh my god.
By this time, Nancy was about halfway over with Ned at her heels. Suddenly, she felt the bridge sag. Before she could warn Ned to retreat, the half of the structure on which they were walking parted from the other half and began to plunge downward. On shore, Bess screamed as Nancy and Ned started to slide toward the flaming water. "Oh no!" George cried out, horrified. Realizing their danger, Nancy and Ned acted fast. He dropped down, grabbed the wide steel beam, and held on with all his strength.
What?
That's not what I would have imagined from
What
the
are you,
picture.
Captain
that I
America?
see. Well, from the picture, it looks like he's just straddling and hugging it.
They wondered where the bridge went, but like clearly it breaks in the middle and then just folds down. They didn't just see like oh, there's the bridge in
I don't know if it's supposed to. I don't know.
I don't know.
He dropped down and grabbed the steel beam.
Yes.
Nancy managed to clasp one of his ankles with both hands. For a couple of seconds, Nancy hung in midair. Then she swung one leg over the bridge and wrapped the other around the swaying support. "We must save them!" Bess cried out.
Jesus Christ.
Would you like to read more?
The caption, "Nancy hung in midair." I guess I will.
Yeah.
Bert said, "We'll make a human chain."
Oh my god, that's even better than saplings.
So glad I read it. He examined the section where the bridge was sagging from the shore and found that an exceedingly strong hinge was attached to an upright hidden in the embankment.
What? Okay.
He offered to be anchor man and lay down on the ground, his toes tucked firmly through the bumper of Ned's car. Dave stretched out on no questions. Dave stretched out on the bridge with Bert holding his ankles. This is perfect for me to read because I wouldn't understand it anyway.
Yep.
Because I don't. When there's logistics.
Yes.
In a book, I can't picture them. So I'm just totally zoning out and reading words. George crawled beyond the boys, and Dave grabbed her ankles, but she could not quite reach Ned's outstretched arms. "Bess, you'll have to help me," she said. The situation was so desperate that Bess had no chance to think of being afraid. She took her place with her ankles tightly anchored by George. Ned could reach her easily. The human chain was ready. "All set," Bert called. Slowly, Nancy pulled herself up and crawled to safety across the bodies of her friends. Ned came next. Then Bert and Dave assisted George and Bess to their feet. The exhausted young people flopped to the ground. It was several minutes before anyone spoke. Finally, Dave broke the silence. Well, I guess it's back to the saplings for us. Which I thought was hilarious.
I'm so sorry. I am truly speechless. I don't know what just happened. I cannot picture any of that at all in my mind's eye.
Human chain.
None of that makes any sense. I don't understand the logistics of the bridge. I don't understand the logistics of the human chain or how it's like that scene in Futurama when Bender's arms fall off and then it's a close up of one arm putting the other arm on and then that arm putting the other arm on and then Fry goes, "How did you do that?" That's what I'm thinking of right now, where I'm trying to figure out how
just
the fuck
random
this
teenage
happens.
bodies pulling up other teenage bodies.
And all of them are like, is
Above
anyone
a
as
fire
horny
pit.
as I am right now? I just touched everything.
Oh, Ned got up and examined the hinge of the bridge.
Okay.
Now we know how this thing appears and disappears. Chris was right.
Do you?
Evidently, some mechanism divides it in the middle, and the two halves part and drop below the water.
Okay. Fuck.
Bess had not recovered from her fright. I don't want to cross that burning water on the sapling, she stated firmly. Then I guess you'll have to stay on this side alone, George told her. Fucking rudely.
Right.
Damn, that's your cousin. By the time the boys had the saplings in place, Bess had changed her mind as the group went across. I wonder where the guard is. Les, whoever the fuck, said
Morton.
Nancy, and called out loudly, anyone here? There was no reply.
That's strange, Ned remarked. He too called loudly, but received no answer. Nancy suspected that something might have happened to the man and suggested they start a search for him. They found the guard lying unconscious in the back of the house.
She's really thorough.
He's been attacked, George exclaimed. Bess was afraid that the guard's assailant might be inside the house.
Robot.
Do you think we really
Robbie.
should go in? She asked. No, none of us are being paid to fucking do this. Ned was already kneeling on the ground and giving the guard first aid. A minute later, the man opened his eyes and looked around blankly. What? You're all right, Ned told him. Did someone knock you out? Yes, the guard said as Ned helped him to stand up. A masked man rushed at me from around the corner of the house and hit me on the head.
Oh.
Before I blacked out, I saw him throw a lighted taper match into the moat.
A taper match?
He would have dropped me in, but he heard a car coming and ran across the bridge.
Jesus.
Then I lost consciousness. What did he look like? Nancy queried. Of course, classic Nancy.
Classic
Tall and slender, dark hair. The young people concluded that the fugitive had tampered with a tapered match with the bridge before disappearing into the woods. Bess dramatically told the guard what had happened and added, "He's an evil man." Bert smiled. That's putting it
really
mildly. As the young people
shit.
entered the hall, George asked, "Where would one look for a silver armor mask?" Dave replied, "On a silver knight, you dumb idiot." Nancy snapped her fingers and said excitedly, "I have it. The robot. He's silver in color, and his face is like a mask."
Good job, Nancy. I didn't think of that.
Okay, so it is, George remarked. But what does that prove? Everyone waited tensely for Nancy's answer. Maybe, she said, if we insert a certain tape, we'll learn some secret. Or that's something you could have done earlier, you big
why
dumb
didn't you guys
idiot.
try-
3/4 of a
tape.
book ago,
Yeah.
I think, when we found out about the tapes.
God damn.
Just finish this, I think.
Yeah.
Chris?
Oh, but which tape? Bess questioned. And when are we getting lunch? You might put one in that. That would blow us all sky high. Nancy said they would look over all of them and see if they could find an identifying mark indicating the right one. The group went to the kitchen and she opened the drawer which held the tapes. Carefully, they examined them one by one. Finally, Ned held up a reel. "I think this might be it," he said. "It's marked top secret."
I'm so angry they didn't see that sooner.
I can't.
And it's like,
Yep.
they're marked? This is the first time we've known that they're marked.
At least it seems like the danger is over. Wait a minute. Chapter 19, poison.
That girl is.
Poison.
It's a great song.
Yes.
It is.
I love that song.
Poison.
By the way,
Poison.
a tapered match, if you're wondering. We never talked about what that is.
Tell us what
Yes.
you learned about
It's
tapered
basically, it
matches.
sounds like it's a match without the match head on it. Like it's just like you would light it on a candle and then maybe go to another candle and light another one, but it doesn't have the little flammable match head on it.
So
I read
just
a lot of
stick
fantasy
wood?
books.
Wood?
They're just called tapers.
It's basically, yes, like like a match without
So
a head.
you
on it.
already need a flame.
It's just called a taper.
So, what? It's like what you light candles
makes
with
me
at
mad.
church.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
which
guess
we
so.
talked about extensively before on the show.
We have.
It's a taper. It's not a tapered match. It's a
I was
taper.
going to ask that, but then we need
You know,
to not tangent.
I
no,
used
yeah.
the royal we. I know it didn't necessarily happen on an episode.
You
that I
might
was
not
on.
have been on the episode, but we
Yeah,
have
I don't think I
we had
was.
a
But
very
you were
long
there.
I think I
tangent.
would
We had
remember
a-
that if we talked about a
I
subject
can't
that
remember.
exciting.
Was John on the Tabernacle episode?
I don't remember, but I think that was the
That
episode
was
I'm
a
talking
really
about.
long conversation about religion and shit.
I was literally talking about that today, where I was saying that like you thought I was joking when I told you that all Catholic churches have like a saint's bone or a tooth in them.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
And I was like, no, it's real, and you have to look it up, and it's real.
I remember that
A little
clip.
magic piece of someone.
If I wasn't on that episode, I definitely saw a clip of it or something.
Yeah, I definitely clipped it. That was good.
All right, well, Chapter 19, Poison.
Poison.
Nancy rolled the robot from the closet and inserted the top secret tape. Now that's how you start a chapter.
That's
As
really
the
good.
whirring sound began, she warned everyone to stand back. She and her friends waited with pounding hearts to see what he would do.
And
The
open
whirring
eyes.
became louder. Then suddenly the mechanical man was propelled through the swinging door and out to the hallway. He stopped at the foot of the stairs, jerkily raised his right arm, and pointed upward.
What?
Ned asked, "Does he mean there's something on the second floor we should investigate?" "I'll bet you're right," George answered. "Let's go up there and see what we can find." She climbed the stairs with Bert.
I thought the
Bess and
robot was
Dave
gonna
followed.
fucking talk.
Nancy said to Ned, "Let's stay down here and see what else the robot does."
Yes.
He nodded, and the two stood at one side of the hall to watch him. "Robbie's moving!" Robbie's moving!" Nancy whispered. The mechanical man turned abruptly, rolled across the hall, and went into the den. Nancy and Ned trailed him. Wait, which he is this? I guess the robot is not a he.
Ned?
Yeah. And that was Ned the boyfriend with the
Yeah.
soft voice? Okay.
Yeah.
"That's interesting," he remarked, watching intently. The robot had stopped in front of Raleigh's desk. Now he raised his right arm and pointed to a certain drawer. "I think he wants someone to open it."
Did they
Nancy
not
said.
open his desk? I'm sorry, John. What
Ned
the
offered
fuck?
to and walked forward. He tried to pull out the drawer but found it locked. "What am I supposed to do now?" Ned asked. "This creature is programmed to be as mysterious as his owner." By the way, in my mind, Rick Moranis is playing Ned.
Right?
That's not very mysterious.
Nope, it's
if
just
I
a
had a
locked
bunch
drawer.
of secrets, I wouldn't make a program for my robot to point at them.
Okay, also, God damn it, if you're fucking investigating your brother who's a swindler, and you know he's a swindler, and you're trying to figure out, like, where his hidden shit is, and you go to his house, and a drawer on his desk is locked, get a fucking crowbar, man. Do something. Smash that shit open. Don't just walk around being like, what if this robot points us to the... Open the desk drawer! I'm angry now. A
But
moment
it's
later-
locked, Jonathan. It's locked.
What are
There's
they supposed
How
to
do you know it's
do?
No
important?
way you can
What
get
are
in
they
there.
supposed to do?
People lock stuff.
Yeah, it's locked for a reason, Nancy. A moment later, the mechanical man began waving his right arm in a circle. Nancy and Ned...
Like windmilling it.
Yes. Nancy and Ned looked at each other, puzzled. What did this gesture mean? It's the universal donut from Mars Attacks. Nancy made a guess. Maybe Robbie is indicating that we are to rotate something,
Perhaps it's a knob.
Ned said. He turned the knob until it came off.
Fuck, now what?
He asked. Even if this has unlocked the drawer, there's still no way to pull it out. Any ideas, Nancy?
Do you have a fucking butter knife? It's not that hard.
No!
Christ.
The couple stood looking at the desk for several seconds. I don't know what to do. Then then both of them leaned down and began working at the edges of the drawer with their fingernails. It's moving, Nancy exclaimed. Seconds later, they were able to pull out the drawer. Fuck. God.
Power through it.
It contained neat piles of paper. Neat! On the top was a folded document marked The Last Will and Testament of Raleigh Bannister.
Finally? Are we happy about this?
Right?
Find this?
I'm sure we're not supposed
We weren't looking for it,
Oh my
ever.
God. I'm sure we're not supposed to read this, Nancy stated. Ned closed the door and screwed the knob back on.
The drawer?
Yeah.
The drawer door?
Nancy said, I'm sure we're not supposed to read this. So they closed the drawer and they screwed the knob back on. Nancy said, I'll tell Mrs. Carrier. I can't even do a fucking voice. I'm so angry. I'll tell Mrs. Carrier and Thomas about the will as soon as we see them. Don't you know what a clue looks like? Fuck. When the desk was locked, the robot turned and rolled away. They followed him back into the hall. The mechanical man stopped directly under the oriental wall hanging and pointed upward. Oh, there certainly must be a secret in this picture, Ned remarked. Nancy nodded. It may have something to do with the will that we didn't fucking read. Suddenly, the robot turned and began to move forward. They walked after him, but apparently the tape was almost finished. He went to the kitchen and the whirring sound stopped. Nancy removed the tape and locked Robbie in the closet. She and Ned returned to the front hall. Oh my God.
I hate this book. It's making me so angry.
No one's ever disappointed you as much as Nancy Drew has, you know?
Seriously. This is insane.
She found the last will and testament of the dude they're trying to find. She was like, better not read it.
Yeah, that would be rude. Bess called excitedly from upstairs. Here comes Mr. Meade. Don't let him in. George, Bert, and Dave appeared at the head of the stairs. Yes, it's Clyde Meade, George confirmed. But I think we should let him in. If we don't, how are we going to capture that swindler? You're right, Ned called up. The instant he comes to this door, we'll tackle him. George said, I'll be right down to help you, but not by the stairs. Every time I've been in this house, I've wanted to ride on the Crooked Banister. Now I'm going to do it. What?
Girl's gotta
ride a banister.
Girl's gotta ride a banister.
I'll go too, Bert said. Let me get on first. You follow. All right, George
Ow, my
agreed.
balls! Ow, my balls! If it's crooked, right? Like...
Oh, my butt!
What the fuck?
They climbed up. Bert had chosen the banister, which had been sawed off at the wall. Nancy was about to suggest they switch to the other railing, but it was too late. George and Bert had started down. Their twisting descent was so swift they were almost swung off. It's like riding a roller coaster, George cried. As they neared the bottom, both she and Bert grabbed the rail hard and tried to stop.
Yeah, they did.
But they were not able to. Have you ever slid down a banister? That's not how it fucking works.
You're going
you
dick
fly
first
off
into
and
that
you
newel
try
post,
to land.
man.
Well, right? Like, where are all the other newels?
Yeah.
There have to be more than the one.
There's usually one at the bottom.
Probably up other people's butts.
Probably from riding that banister
Yeah,
so much.
that's why they all broke off and ended up in the basement. The next moment, there was a loud crash.
If you had told me that they were two fucking teenagers gonna ride that fucking banister in this book, I would not have believed you.
Are you ready for me to read the words gaping hole?
Yes, I am.
A gaping hole appeared in the plasterboard wall, and George and Bert disappeared through it. Oh, screamed Bess, who was halfway down the stairway. Nancy and Ned rushed to the opening and looked inside. George and Bert were just picking themselves up from the floor. Are you hurt? Nancy asked quickly. Before George and Bert could answer, a solemn voice announced hollowly, Now you cannot escape! You're trapped among the poisons! The dire message was repeated.
What?
Now you cannot escape. You're trapped among the poisons. Chapter 20. I got an easy Roman numeral.
You really did,
You
though.
did.
Fuck you.
The capture. During the excitement which followed George and Bert's crash through the wall into the poison room, loud thumping could be heard on the front door.
like
The other young people, intent on trying to help the couple step out, paid no attention. Are you all right? Nancy asked, leaning through the opening. We're fine as far as we can see, George replied, but I'd like to find out what's here. Hand me a flashlight, will you? Ned produced one from his pocket and gave it to her. A strange sight met their eyes. There were rows of shelves, each filled with metal boxes alongside bottles marked poison. Fortunately, none of the bottles had been overturned or broken, so their contents had not spilled onto George and Bert. I guess Raleigh Bannister had a mania for poisons, George remarked. On some of these bottles are the names of the poisons from the plants and reptiles that the serpents in the oriental wall hanging are eating. Bert added,
Yep.
Here's the tape recorder that greeted us with that fiendish message. The thumping on the front door became more insistent. Bess turned to Nancy. What shall we do? I'm sure that's Mr. Meade, and we haven't eaten yet. As Nancy hesitated to let him in, Ned suggested that Bert
haven't made a single best food joke this whole episode.
They haven't.
But there was a run
there were
there
so
where they
many
did
last
for so
time.
many.
Was.
Yeah.
Ned
I wasn't
suggested
paying
that
attention when I was reading.
Yeah.
What wall have they gone through?
I actually have no fucking idea. I have no...
You know what? Who gives a shit? I'm so tired of taking notes.
Yeah, don't take notes. I have great, spatial awareness, and I don't get it. But
Okay.
anyway.
It seemed like they were going down the banister, so it would make sense if they went into a hole at the bottom of the stairs. But isn't the mysterious area at the top of the stairs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought in the middle, kind of.
Does the banister curve into the secret area and then back out of it? Is that what happened? So, they came down from the second floor and, smashed into the wall?
I don't know.
Fucking banister.
Who cares?
disappeared.
None of the illustrations have made this clear.
No, out of all the illustrations, I want one of the crooked fucking
Yeah.
banister.
Yeah.
As Nancy hesitated to let him in, Ned suggested that Bert
like
hand out
John
one
just-
of the metal
yeah.
boxes so he could see what was inside. Ned set it on a step of the stairway and opened the lid. The box was filled with money!
Oh, shit.
Poison and money!
Poison and money.
Jukebox money! Nancy was hardly paying attention. She was thinking, if we let Mr. Meade go, we may never have a chance to capture him. But if we open the door, he'll see what's here. And I don't think that's a good idea.
He might have a gun and help himself to this treasure. She turned to Ned and relayed her thoughts to him. Suppose I ask Meade to come around to the back door. You and Dave can let him in. And make him a prisoner? Ned answered. Come on, Dave. Nancy hurried to the front door and asked,
He's into it. Oh, okay.
Make him a prisoner? Fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Always wanted to do that. We can tie him
Nancy
up with
hurried to the
saplings.
front door and asked, Who's there? Clyde Meade. You're Nancy Drew, I guess. You told me about this interesting place, and I thought I'd come see it. All right, Nancy answered in as calm a voice as she could manage. Please go around to the rear door. Right away, the man said affably. For a second, Nancy felt sorry for him, knowing what was going to happen. But she brushed the thought aside. The man was
guy.
a swindler and should be handed over to the police. And yes, if you've been drinking every time we say swindler, you're now dead of alcohol poisoning.
I'm so sorry.
We're sorry. We'll send regards to your family. Meanwhile, Ned and Dave had hurried to
of alcohol poisoning.
Dear Mom and Dad. Meanwhile, Ned and Dave had hurried to the rear door in the kitchen. When the man opened it, the two husky football players tackled him. What is the meaning of this? Meade cried out angrily as the boys helped him up, but held his arms tightly. You'll find out in a few minutes, Ned told him. The prisoner struggled to free himself. Let me go! I haven't done anything, he shouted. If it's my money you want, take it, but get your hands off me. Meade was not a muscular man, and Dave had no trouble holding him alone.
Teenager.
Ned, get the others, Dave directed. Meade looked at him questioningly, but received no explanation. When Ned reached the hall, he was astounded to see the lower steps of the crooked stairway piled with small metal boxes. Each was open, and every one contained money. There are thousands of dollars here, Nancy told him. A lot of Morrises.
Like
Probably enough to-
$3,000 bills. There's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
3 of them on the floor.
Yes.
Yeah, there's one of each kind.
Look at
One
it.
of each kind
Yeah.
of $1,000
One of-
One
bill.
of each
Yeah.
version of $1,000
Exactly.
bill.
There's a Cleveland. There's a Morris.
And a
And there's
Clinton.
and a Clinton. I forgot that one. Thank you.
You're welcome. DeWitt Clinton. I'll never forget his name for some reason. Mayor of New York
For
City.
some reason, I did.
In,
I totally
guess,
forgot
the
it.
20s. I wish that had been in the Great
I
Gatsby.
forgot it because you remembered it. There are thousands of dollars here, Nancy told him. Probably enough to pay all the people Raleigh swindled, and lots left over. How much money did he take? That doesn't seem
Well,
like
he has
that
swindled
much,
apparently
He
everyone.
swindled like 4 couples that we know of.
Yeah. Here's a list of his blah, 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 blah. Here's a list of his victims. George interposed. And we found the
God.
skeleton's bracelet.
Go back to urged. Interposed. sucks.
George interposed. We found the skeleton's bracelet, exclaimed Bess, holding it up. It's even more gorgeous than in the photograph we saw in Raleigh's book. The rubies in the serpent's eyes gleamed brightly, and Ned saw the gold jewel piece was studded with turquoise. That sure is.
So the literal
That
bracelet
is the
was
actual bracelet.
there. All right.
I wonder where Raleigh got the bracelet, he asked. I'll bet he bought it from that thief who stole it in Mexico. Probably, Nancy agreed. Here's
I
a
bet
tag.
his name was Fitch or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah. Here's a tag that says it came from the arm of an ancient Aztec woman's skeleton, like the book said, I think. She led the way to the kitchen. When Meade saw the whole group, he paled. Bess was first to speak. You are a faker, Mr. Clyde Meade. You took my money for a little Navajo boy, and you never gave it to him. What do you mean? The man asked. Of course I did. Nancy told about the trip she and her father had made to Arizona and what they had learned. Meade suddenly lost all of his bravado. Okay, he said. I was pressed for money, and I thought of some of that. I thought of that scheme of getting some. I'll repay everyone whose cash I took. George spoke up. We found a printing press in the basement. Did you use it to make your fake pamphlets about the Indians? Yes. Nancy looked straight at the man and said, You weren't alone in that scheme and in a whole lot of others too. You're a pal of Raleigh Bannister's, and the two of you swindled a number of people. Meade's jaw dropped. He stared at Nancy as if he could not believe his ears. A girl figured it out? Convinced that the young detective had concrete evidence to prove her charges, Meade made a complete confession, which we're not even going to
Fucking
do.
fool.
Where's Raleigh now? Nancy asked him. You figure it out. He left here saying he was going on a long trip. Raleigh owed me a great deal of money for helping him with his schemes. Shit, I was wrong about a lot.
We were all wrong. This was a lot easier than we thought it was. When I remind
You were wrong when you said you loved this book.
Also
we
that.
were wrong then too. When I reminded him of this,
I didn't know
he
horseback
said-
travel was going to be in this fucking last quarter.
When I reminded him of this, he said half jokingly, I'll give you 2 hints. If you can find the answers in my house to 2 riddles, you can have whatever you locate. Meade said that one clue was find the skeleton's bracelet. The other was find the silver armor mask.
Probably found it.
I had no idea what Raleigh meant, but I asked him for a key. He gave me one to the rear door of this crazy house. The first time I was here, someone came to the front door and banged the knocker loudly. Whoever it was seemed very angry, Meade said. Almost simultaneously, a recorded message told the person to come back some other time. When he was gone, I traced the voice to a miniature tape recorder cleverly hidden over the door and tore it out. I knew I'd be coming here again and didn't want any visitors to plan on returning. Meade mopped his forehead with a handkerchief as he continued. I kept out of the way of the man who worked for Raleigh, but I met him once. He was the general handyman, and incidentally, he knew how to make the bridge go up and down. He sometimes set the moat on fire. His name was Mickey Garver.
I'm sorry,
These are things I have to say.
What?
Like,
we
they make
didn't add
sense.
anything
We're
to that. You didn't change
I
that at all.
haven't added anything in a long,
And we're just
long time.
introducing this dude.
Yep, Mickey
Yeah.
Garver makes the moat on fire.
So this
And makes
is
the bridge go
okay,
up and down.
This is the dude that they keep seeing running in and out of the house in the woods.
I don't fucking know. He must have been the one who knocked out the guard, Nancy remarked. Meade said he did not know about that, but Garver had told him that he set the motel fires and stolen the Melody's papers to protect Raleigh from being prosecuted for that swindle.
Oh, he set the fire at the motel.
He set the motel fire.
Mickey Garver sounds like a contractor.
He does. We had a contractor named Mickey.
Yep.
And he was not great.
Nope.
For several reasons.
Yep.
Who telephoned me and tried to get my father off the case? Nancy questioned. That was Raleigh. I found out Mr. Drew had come to Mountainville to work on the case. When you and your father learned that Raleigh had jumped bail, you started to track him down. When he called me from New York City, I told him what you two were up to. Raleigh said he was going to get the Drews off the case at once. God, this is tedious. It's like the end of a Hitchcock movie where they have to explain everything to you that you already know.
Oh, you're right. Well, it was the style at the time.
It was. It was the
But
studio
he didn't.
notes. I don't blame Hitchcock.
Nancy said to Meade, I suppose you sent the notes to me about the bracelet and the mask. When you couldn't find them yourself, you wanted me to do
Obviously.
it because I'm a detective.
I detect.
Then you would try
I'm
to
a
steal
girl
them.
detective.
I, a detective.
The prisoner admitted this was true, saying he had kept a close scrutiny on the girl's activities in Mountainville. George grinned. We figured out the riddle of the mask, then found the bracelet. Meade looked at the young people unbelievingly. I thought you were smart enough to decipher the messages, but it doubts that you were smart enough to find the bracelet, he sighed in disgust. If I hadn't taken money from Bess Marvin and Raleigh's sister for the Indian children, I never would have been caught, he added ruefully. Aw, man, almost as if that was a thing you shouldn't have done.
So, are you saying that he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those
kids?
Those nosy kids or whatever the fucking...
meddling kids.
Meddling kids?
Ned told the man he was not so sure of this. I'm not so sure of this. The police are delving into Raleigh's affairs and will discover that you two are working together. Suddenly, the prisoner cried out, You'll never get Raleigh! He's dead!
Oh!
Everyone in the kitchen gasped.
You might be right.
I am really excited, though, that I might be right.
What do you mean? Bird asked.
Okay, stop taking notes.
A few
so long
days
ago.
ago, I saw a newspaper report that his cruiser blew up and he Raleigh was using an assumed name that only I knew. I saw the item about the accidental death of... okay, this fake name is...
Wait.
Here you
wait,
go.
wait.
Oh, God, hold on.
This is...
Chris, please, uninterrupted.
This is amazing. Raleigh was using an assumed name that only I knew. I saw the item about the accidental death of DeCork Retsinab. Substituting the letter C for the last K in DeCork, you will find that this man's name spelled backward is Crooked Banister.
Oh my
What?
God, that's
terrible.
a leap. That's such a leap. That's almost as bad as Tom Marvolo Riddle.
And you didn't report this to the police authorities, Dave asked Meade. Flabbergasted like we all are? No, I was afraid of being found out. Why would I report it to the fucking police, you little idiot? Ned asked Meade if he knew about the robot. Yes, Raleigh told me the sound of a voice activated it. Nancy mentioned that she and her friends had found portraits with the faces painted out and poison put on them. Have you any idea why? She asked.
Blew up in a boat.
Stupid fake name.
Meade thought a moment. Raleigh once said to me, I hate all my relatives except my parents and brother and sister. I'd like to poison them all. I liked Raleigh, but he was kind of wacky.
None of that was added.
Yeah. It has to be said because that's crazy.
Yes.
The questioning was interrupted by the rapping of the front door knocker. Nancy and Ned went to see who was there. The callers proved to be Mrs. Carrier, Thomas Banister, and 3 policemen. Is Clyde Meade here? One of the officers asked. Yes, Ned replied. He's our prisoner in the kitchen.
Sorry, I'm so
Good,
sorry,
said the
John.
officer.
I'm so
We're
sorry.
at 99%.
I'm so sorry. You're forgetting that all cops are Irish. Acai.
Okay.
What did you say?
A-C-A-I.
All
Acai,
cops are
acai.
Irish.
All cops are Irish.
Oh.
So I'll go back.
Also a berry.
That's
Well,
I
yeah,
know
I
that's
was
what I'm
thinking
doing.
of the berry.
It's not funny when I explain it.
I didn't get it. It's my fault.
It's
Go
fine.
on. I'm
Go
so
on.
sorry.
So, is Clyde Mead here? One of the officers named Patrick Godooley asked. Yes, Ned replied. He's our prisoner in the kitchen. Good, said the officer. The authorities finally... Oh, ha ha ha, or something. Ha sha sha. The authorities finally trailed Mead to Mountainville. Nancy told him that Mead had confessed and implicated Mickey Garver. The officer said the handyman would be taken into custody. Nancy led the way to the kitchen. Within seconds, Mead was being escorted out the back door by the 3 officers. Didn't I see a hole in the hallway wall? Mrs. Carrier asked, a puzzled look on her face.
That was your
And
Irish
boxes on the stairway? Nancy quickly related all that had happened. Then the other young people showed her, and Thomas, the money, the skeleton's bracelet, and the bottles of poison. When the excitement over the tremendous find had died down, Nancy told Mrs. Carrier and her brother of Raleigh's death. His sister said soberly, I believe Raleigh had a premonition of his death. That's why he left the message and key with me. Thomas nodded solemnly. I'm glad Raleigh will be spared having earthly authorities punish him.
What?
Only Satan will torture him for eternity.
Jesus Christ.
Then he added, one thing is not clear to me. How did Raleigh get into the space back of the bookcase without breaking the wall? Nancy said they had not figured this out yet. Perhaps the robot can tell us. By the way, he showed us where Raleigh's will is. We'll look at that later, Thomas said.
No, look at it now.
No one gives a shit about that will.
Oh my God. Okay. The group returned to the kitchen and examined the unused tapes. One was marked BC. Maybe this means bookcase, Nancy said. Oh, you think? Mrs. Carrier directed. The robot was brought from the closet and the tape inserted. Everyone watched him intently. The whirring sound started, and the mechanical man said, I can't do it if you're watching. And then they all turned around, and then he rolled out to the hall, and then into the living room. He stopped in front of the bookcase. Then the robot raised his arms high over his head and pointed to the top of the bookcase. Next, he moved his arms as if indicating that the pieces of furniture were to be pulled out. I'm miming all of this.
Furniture pulled out of a bookcase?
Furniture,
Not
yes,
books,
yes.
but furniture?
At this gesture, the tape ended. I'll take a look, Ned said and swung to Dave's shoulders. Sorry.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Leaning forward, he gave the bookcase a tug and moved it toward him easily. Fucking super cool. When Dave and Ned rolled it out into the room, the searchers found a door leading into the narrow poison room.
This must have been the original door into the hall,
Bert remarked. The bookcase was shoved back into place and the watchers heard a click. Mrs. Carrier turned to Nancy and her friends. How can we ever repay you for all that you've done? She said. We want no reward, Nancy said quickly. It has been a great pleasure to meet you people and to work on the mystery. The young detective looked dreamily into space, wondering what her next case would be. It soon followed and became known as The Secret of Mirror Bay.
What? Can you repeat that?
John is dying right now. The young detective looked dreamily into space, wondering what her next case would be. Mm-hmm. It soon followed and became
What
known.
followed?
The
What
case.
followed?
Her next case.
Like a premonition?
They put
It
an ad for
soon
the
followed
next book
and
in this
became known
Okay.
across the land as The Secret of Mirror Bay, which I bet you will find if you look up the next book in this series of
I
Nancy
bet
Drew
we've
Mysteries.
got the first chapter right after this.
Thomas Bannister spoke up. You girls have brought to a close one of the most baffling mysteries I have ever heard of. We can never thank you enough. Nancy Drew, you're a wonder. Nancy smiled and laid a hand on the mechanical man. Do you know who really solved this mystery? She asked.
The robot that tried to kill me?
Robbie! Bum. It couldn't have ended better if I tried. Holy shit.
That broke me.
Why?
Ad. Instead of like saying like, oh, if you like Nancy Drew mysteries, check this out. Here's a sample.
Chris,
Yeah.
They're just like they.
Wouldn't you say...
You can't hear me again.
No, I was just going to say, wouldn't you say it was organic?
No, I would say it was robotic.
Does every book end that way with her like getting a channeling from another dimension of the next book's title?
I absolutely
knows the
hope so.
name of it?
I hope so, yeah.
It was such a weird transition because it was like the young detective looked into the horizon and wondered what her
saw
next
the
adventure
future.
would be.
Yeah.
That's how you end the book, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's not a great ending, but that's how you end it. To then be like,
man.
she wondered where her next adventure would come from. It actually would be this, and it would be called this.
What's
It's
crazy
such
to
a
me is
strange,
that
like-
And she
Not-
got
not
a
even a
specific
paragraph break.
download of information
Yeah.
on
It said,
exactly
right.
what it would be.
it would come to be known as if we're to believe you're reading about Nancy Drew, the most famous of all detectives in the annals of history. Like,
No, Jonathan, it's as if in the last book we reveal that one of these characters has been writing the Chronicles of Nancy
Yes,
Drew, and
yes,
that we find
exactly.
out that's what we've been reading.
Oh,
you know?
I bet it would be Bess. I love her.
It would be best.
Yeah, it would be
it-
best.
yeah,
She's
that's
very
her
stout of heart.
Watson.
Yeah.
It would not be George.
No.
No. George doesn't,
George can get
George
fucked.
doesn't give a shit.
George would be like, I ain't writing
yeah,
shit.
George is like, you want me to write what? Fuck you.
But let's be clear about this. These are all extremely well-drawn, distinct characters with
Different voices.
with their own voices and speech
Personalities.
patterns, and only
much
doing
depth.
what that character could do, only saying what that character would say. You know, it's very
And it was
very
really
well
important
conceived.
that we needed 30 of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the
All
most
30.
important.
No,
the most important part
I did
was
like that there
meeting-
were that many characters just running around this house at the
I
end,
love
going and
knowing
talking
how
to
many
different
names
groups.
there were, and that Mr. Drew wasn't even there at the end. That was cool.
Every single couple we met who had been swindled we didn't need to know their names or anything about them.
Well, and Mrs. Carrier was just so excited to have money to pay back all of her brother's swindling victims.
Yeah. It's about the pride of the family name? I don't know. I lost interest in this last quarter. This book
But
really
we took 3
I don't
hours
know.
to
This
read
ground to a halt for some reason at the end. I'm just kidding. I loved all of it.
it. We needed more robot.
We needed more robot. We needed less
Less
Well, I mean,
Arizona.
less Arizona. Yeah. Chris, what?
He solved it.
Who did? No, the robot. Yeah.
Yeah. It's literally the last line of the book. More robot. Robbie solved the whole damn thing.
Oh, so you're saying if there was more robot, it would have ended quicker? I'm
yeah.
good with that.
If they had just let the robot do its job, or I don't know, tried all the fucking tapes
Exactly.
Right.
The
first
Seriously.
first time
found
they
it.
saw a robot, they should have shoved every tape in
Yes. Yep.
him just to
Yeah.
see what would happen.
Also, read the will. I'm
Yes.
furious about that.
we don't even know what's in it.
Furious about that. I've
Right.
seen Roger Rabbit. Fucking, like, Porky Pig read that goddamn will when he found it. Like, who gives a shit? Read the will. Fucker's
Read
dead.
every will you find.
Guys, if you're listening to this and you
Also,
come across a
like-
last will and testament, read it.
All the times they searched that fucking house and they didn't open any fucking
Yes!
drawers and any desks.
Yes!
What did they do? Just like glance at the walls?
They looked at a
over and
tapestry
over?
and they were like, poison
Well,
snakes.
yep, it's a
Yeah.
house.
I query where that banister goes to. Oh, fuck. God.
You said search the house. You didn't say do a thorough search of the
Yeah,
house.
you didn't say invade people's privacy.
Yeah,
you said
right.
search the
We're not
house.
being rude
We're
here.
not being rude. We're just searching. We're trying to solve
So who claimed Raleigh was dead?
me. Thank you.
Alright, so you're
I-
correct.
Oh,
I'm-
shit.
Kind of. I'm not taking the full victory
yeah.
because what I specifically said was I think Raleigh was dead and behind the wall,
Yeah.
and that Thomas was behind it.
Yeah. But
Does
really,
that mean you get to like hold the glasses but not put them on?
I claim the same. I feel like I claim the same amount of victory that you did last time when you said that like the secret book that was going to be the lever. It was going to be called the Skeleton's Bracelet. And that's not what it was, but you were very close.
But there was a book that had a thing about a skeleton's bracelet in it, and there was a lever, but they weren't related.
So we were both in like the neighborhood of what was right.
Yeah.
We just weren't as right as Chris was when
like,
he said they were dinosaurs.
What just happened? So Clyde was the bad guy?
Yes.
He's just some guy named Clyde?
I think he's Fitch.
Clyde is Fitch.
Clyde is Fitch.
And Raleigh died in a boat explosion?
Raleigh was on a boat and just blew up.
But like recently
yes.
or before the events of this book?
I think during the events of the book.
Under an assumed name.
Well, he had a fucking dumb as shit pseudonym. Yeah. But when did he die?
I think either during the events of the book or like within the last like 2 weeks. Like
I feel like
super recently.
Shut my brain off.
I think not important.
Was it an accidental boat explosion?
I don't remember. I know it literally just happened like 2 pages ago. I don't remember.
That's fine.
John, do you remember? I think you read it.
We'll listen to this episode in a month or so.
Yes.
And we'll figure it out.
If you're listening to this, you might remember. Also, if you might be like us and have complete amnesia 1 minute after you hear what has happened in these books.
Have to concentrate on saying words. And don't pay
I
attention
made predictions thinking it was a much better book than it was.
It was really good for a while, and then it got crazy and dumb.
I was a little afraid that it was going to end in the way where it was like all of the simplest, explanations are the explanation.
Yeah.
And it's nothing crazy what you think it is.
Yeah.
And then that's how it ended.
Yeah.
Yeah. John, what did you think?
This book broke my brain.
Oh no!
Oh no!
During that last section when you said John's laughing or whatever, you pointed it out that I was every sentence was making me giggle because it was just so full of like new information that I didn't care about.
Yeah.
And it was like so rich with information that I don't know how I was supposed to feel about it when I was learning
way
it.
Too much information.
And it seems like in the end, if they had just said, let's hang out with this robot.
Yep.
Then none of this flying around was necessary.
They wouldn't have needed to go to Arizona. How much money did he spend on plane tickets?
They could have made a phone call to Arizona.
Is he still going to the Department of the Interior?
Oh my God!
You don't need to do that anymore.
They clearly didn't have phones in that Navajo town.
Well, or anywhere in 1971.
Yeah.
The post-credit scene would be Mr. Drew waiting in the lobby at the Department of the Interior, and they call his number finally, and he's like, "Oh, I've got some news for you."
That would be.
No,
and the guy from the Department of Interior is hanging up the phone from Nancy.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the mentions in early media of like, oh, do you want to pay for a long distance call?
Yeah.
So I think that's the explanation.
Yeah, no one can afford a long distance call, but you know what they can afford, Chris, is 2 plane tickets and a helicopter ticket and horse tickets.
Horse tickets.
Her dad's a lawyer.
Her dad is a lawyer, that's true.
I did make one prediction that turned out to be true, though. I had fun.
Let me write that down.
Wow, that
will never be read again.
Really good. Jesus Christ, John, thank you so much for coming back once again to Below Grade Level to help us finish reading a book that you have no idea what the fuck is going on in, and
it's important work that we're doing.
It's it's like it's a shared psychosis at this point.
Yes, it is.
And if you didn't want to do it, you'd say no.
Right. For whatever reason, when you ask, like, yes, I'll make time in my schedule.
Of course I will. Oh, it's every 4th week. I guess I'll come and read something insane with my friends. What would you like to plug for people listening?
When is this coming out?
That's it's a really good question.
What schedule are we on right now?
Not for like at least a month actually from when we're recording.
Okay.
This.
By the time this comes out, there will be a new single, like an A-side, B-side, kind of a 2-song single from my musical identity, Sci-Fi. And the name of the EP or single is Poly Sci-Fi. And the songs on there's 2 songs, one called The Ultimate Bootlicks and one called Bummer 25. And
what's that about?
It's sort of It's sort of political, but not really. Like a friend said, "Do you ever write political songs?" And it kind of got in my mind of like, no, I really don't. But and then I kind of this seemed like a good year to try. But I tried to make them songs that wouldn't make you too mad or sad to hear, so I had to take a few steps back from reality, maybe, just to make them palatable. But yeah, that by the time this episode is out, those should be out wherever you listen to music. All your favorite streaming places.
Nice.
Look for Sci-Fi, SIGH,
Excellent. Chris, what would you like to plug?
I would love to plug The Sketchy Show. Do you like comedy?
Yeah,
I like
All right,
Alfie.
Well, then, do you like improv?
I do.
Well, then let me invite you on an improvisational comedic adventure that involves me, Chris Z, Jonathan Eaton, and John Walker.
What?
Where we improvise sketches, and you get to listen to them.
They get to listen to them?
They get
This
to
is
listen
the
to
format
them, John
of a
Walker.
sketch. What we're doing right now.
Oh my God! All this time we were doing them, I had no idea that people get to listen.
They get to listen to them, and they're great, and they're awesome, and it's hosted by a robot, just like in this episode.
Oh my God! That is like a crossover event.
It's not Robbie.
I would like to say
the sketch improvisational comedy robot.
we are doing a little. We're doing the sketchy show a little differently now, and I want to see how this goes. But typically, that show takes a very long time to edit, and we release like a couple episodes a year, and it's very, very sporadic. And what we are going to do now, what we're going to try and do, is more of a seasonal approach. So instead of releasing one episode of Sketchy every however many months, we're currently working on a bunch of episodes of Sketchy. And so hopefully there will be a time soon where we can say, look out for the new season of the Sketchy Show, and you get to listen to a bunch of new shit all in a row.
Yeah.
And speaking of that kind of release schedule, I also, last thing I want to plug, Casting Dreams, which is a Dreamcast podcast that I host with my friend Patrick Anderson. There's a first season of that out where we talk all about the Sega Dreamcast, and we are currently working on the second season, which will come out later this year. So if you like video games, retro gaming, just gaming in general, and an elder millennial and a Gen Xer talking about video games, you should listen to that because it's very fun and we have a great time doing it. Bekah, you want to stop?
What?
No, I mean, like, I was going to ask you if you wanted to plug anything, but, like, clearly this has been so long.
So you're making me call it?
No, I was trying to do a joke, but now I realize it didn't work. It didn't land. Hey, Bekah, how's it going?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Would you like to plug anything?
No.
You guys should get banned.
Well played, Bekah.
Chris.
Well played.
All right, that's it for us.
You got rope-a-doped, Jonathan.
I got robot-a-doped. Just like Nancy Drew. Thanks so much for listening to this adventure, and come back next time. We've got a real, hopefully real good one lined up, and we're really excited for it. So thanks for listening. We love you. Bye.
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 Bye. Below Grade Level is a Cactus Rodeo production. You can subscribe to and follow Below Grade Level on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you find podcasts. Contact us at podcast@cactusrodeo.com and discover more of what Cactus Rodeo has to offer on Facebook and YouTube.